Shut up, the foot is on the radio.
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL.
We're just 3 weeks out from finals, and tonight two of the hottest teams in the competition go head-to-head at the home of footy. The Blues have won 7 on the trot, and their troubles seem a lifetime ago. Meanwhile, the Demons have won 5 in a row and look in great shape. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks Saturday night footy at the MCG. This is Triple M footy prime time for Jim Beam. It's set to be an epic match, and that's worth raising a Jim Beam. And of course, drink responsibly. A game this big deserves a call team as big as we have assembled for you tonight. It will blow everyone else off the map in what is a massive night in Australian sport. Let's start with Ethan Meldrum around the grounds. Heath, welcome to you. Take us to the Matildas game, please.
Yeah, 115 minutes in, so we're into extra time. Australia v France, 0-0 at the moment, so it looks like 5 minutes more without a goal. We will be going to penalties, so we're keeping a very close eye on that, as will everybody in the country, I would have thought. 0-0 at the moment, so keeping a close eye on that one.
And if you're listening in the car or watching at home, it's off on the big screen here at the MCG. Went off about 15 minutes ago, so everyone's scattered in bars around the home of footy watching this game. Let's get downstairs to a man who wore the big V. He led the way and has led the way on Triple M since day one, and he's down there for Bob Jane Team Arts. Mickey Roberts. Evening, Robbo.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. Got here at 5 o'clock. To listen to the national anthem. It's off the big screen, but I've actually just walked down the stairs. The bars are full. The bars are full watching the Matildas going around against France. But what an entree for this game. This is a must-win for both sides. Wet weather, we've had it, but who cares? I just looked at the radar. No more rain coming. No wind or anything like that. So it's actually quite perfect. It's going to be slippery, but perfect. So Carlton, best win of the season last week against the Saints, so they're up and about. Still no Chera and Walsh, unchanged, so they're the form side. Melbourne, 2 big ins, as we know, Clayton Oliver and Brodie Grundy, so the mystery man with his hamstring. Oliver hasn't played since, round 10, and Brodie Grundy's still an experiment going around. Petty out for the season. This Frank, the foot, he's gone. But the subs are Ed Curnow for Carlton last week, and Michael Hibbert, the pig, for Melbourne. He is the sub. Winners, I reckon Melbourne win this, Jack. 6 straight. They're going pretty well, the D's.
Bob Jane Team Arts have a great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. I mentioned that this is a massive call team for your Saturday night. The man who's a St Kilda Hall of Famer, 2-time All-Australian. He's forgotten more about footy than most of us know, Joey Montagna. Joey, good to see you.
Yeah, g'day, Jack. Great to be here. These are the 2 toughest teams around the football for mine in the competition. They love contested ball, love the hard footy, watching Cripps go up against Oliver and Georgie Hewitt and Petrarca. I can't wait. It's tailor-made for a cracking game. We'll keep a close eye on how Brodie Grundy goes as a forward and whether he will hold his spot in the team in coming weeks. But I'm looking forward to watching Clary Oliver. I think he'll come back tonight and be best on ground. I expect him to just pick up where he left off. He'll get 32 touches, 10 clearances, and everyone goes, that's the Clary we love.
And alongside Joey, he's a premiership player. He's also the only man walking God's green earth to play 100 games for the Blues and the Pies. Dale Thomas, evening, Days.
Evening, great to be here with you all, and a real air of excitement about this one. Obviously, the D's in good form, the Blues, it was season over at round 14, then all of a sudden 7 on the bounce, and they are well and truly back. Just really keen to see how they shape up against this D's defence. We know how good it can be, the intercepting of Lever and May. Curnow down there, he doesn't have his big sidekick in Harry Mackay, so I think that role will fall to De Koning tonight. So if De Koning can play a big game for the Blues, I think they're a chance to pinch it.
Who takes Charlie? I think
Curnow? Lever goes straight to him to start. You?
I think Stephen May. I think you put your best defender on the opposition's best forward. But we'll keep an eye on that one too. Jack?
And alongside me, it's always just a very calming, relaxing feeling when I jump in the car, drive up the freeway and know that I'm alongside one of the most amazing voices to ever grace football broadcasting, Tim Solly. Hello, Timmy.
Hey, Hev. Great to be here, mate. Always a privilege. And these 2 sides have, Blues on the verge of September for the first time in a decade. Can you believe it? And just really looking forward to seeing Grundy out there tonight. Obviously, a lot's been spoken about whether he's in or out of this side, and Petty being out, he gets his opportunity on the run to September.
7 in a row Carlton have won, boys. Had lost 6 in a row prior. Since round 14, they're the number 1 team in the competition for points scored and points conceded. There's got to be more to it than just mindset, doesn't it, Joey? Is it, Daisy, what is it? What's been the turnaround for them?
Well, I think when they did have those 6 losses, there was periods of the game that they were doing really, really well. It was just the inability to not concede scores very quickly. So they were doing a lot right. They rectified it. They had the big true session that we've heard about down at Ed Curno's farm down there outside of Torquay. But just the belief. You start to win, the younger kids start to realise what it is. You play a role, you get to sell the dream that this is all we need. We don't need world beaters out there. We just need players to go out there, compete as hard as they can. And that's it. Joey touched on it. They love and they've gotten a lot harder in and around the footy. That's something that they now can hang their hats on once again.
Pressure and contest, they've just kept it and simplified it. But no doubt it's been a work in progress. It didn't just happen overnight. They were working on their game for the 4 to 6 weeks before their winning streak started. They got a couple of easy kills in there early to build their confidence, and then from there they're showing their true potential. I mean, I thought they were capable of being a top 4 team at the start of the season because of the list they had and where they were at in their development. So I don't think it's really a shock that they are now just playing to their level that they probably should have been earlier in the season. So it's great to watch, and we'll see how far they take it against who I think is the benchmark of the competition right now, the Demons.
Triple M footy prime time for Jim Beam. It's set to be an epic match, and that's worth raising a Jim Beam. Drink responsibly. Robbo, we've had the toss of the coin.
I just worked out what Big Timmy sounds like. It's big subwoofer. Gawn's won the toss against Cripper. And he's won the toss and he's going the punt road end, the grog squad end. Big Gawny.
Just basking in his joke, wasn't it, Robbo, after that? Sort of forgot what he had to do next.
Happy with it. So the grog squad end.
Grog squad end.
Heath, take us Choice Hotels around the grounds. What's happening in Brisbane with the Matildas, and also what happened earlier today?
Yeah, 4 minutes of added time. We're about 30 seconds into that. France just had a shot on goal, well saved by Mackenzie Arnold. So 3.5 minutes left, still 0-0 in that game. So it looks like we might be going to penalties. Brisbane 6 points over Adelaide. Tight finish that game. Probably puts Adelaide out of finals. Sydney 24 points over Gold Coast. Essendon, little thriller. Ben Cunnington's final game, of course, 8 points over North Melbourne.
Boys, who's winning this game and why?
Oh, I'm going to go Melbourne, but this is a toss of the coin. I just think, as I said, it'll be a great test for the Blues to see where they're at. Melbourne have done it over a couple of years now. Interesting to see Clayton Oliver starting at half forward, but Cozzy Pickett in the first bounce. Don't be surprised if they flip, and it looks like Stephen May's going to Charlie Curnow.
Don't forget the Macca's cheesy range. Have a post-game stretch for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Gawn gets the early palm down, hunting that pill. Doherty in the middle. Got it off the back of the square and then surging the ball forward. Attacking it hard, Fogarty. Handball over the top, Fisher. He goes out wide now to Akers. Loads up on the right boot. Sends it up inside the 50. Big pack. Gawn stretching back there. Got the spoil. Ground level, Salem, and they seek comfort in the boundary line. 45 out from the Blues goal. City end of the ground.
Brodie Grundy alongside Van Rooyen there at half forward. Looks like Jacob Wiedering will be tag teaming him alongside Boyd, I think it is. Kemp.
So ball back in. Gawn and DeConing. Tap to the front. Cripps is there. Got to shift a little handball out. Akers opted for the right boot, but he sprayed it way wide. Out of bounds on the full.
Substitutions being made in the Matildas-France game. They're bringing on who they want to take the penalties, and France have swapped their goalkeepers, Jack.
They've pulled the goalie.
They're pulled the goalie. They're bringing on must be their special penalty shooter goalkeeper who's going to try and win the game for France.
That's an in-depth knowledge there, Joey.
Yes.
Penalty shooter.
She's the penalty shootout goalkeeper. Has a good record, Ethan. Yep. What's her record in penalty shootouts? He's France goalkeeper.
I've got no bloody idea, Joey.
She just would have made a number up.
Well, it's just as well you concentrate on AFL, Joey, because the round ball is
eluding it.
That was not great. Straight in, right half forward, Brayshaw. Try to keep it moving. Now Hewitt pounces on the loose ball, little left foot chip. Couldn't find a Koning. Melbourne try to mop up. There's Oliver, first game back to V, and now Salem gets it out of defensive 50.
Grundy, good shape here. Got a little bit of pressure from behind, but it was in the back by Wiedering. So Grundy will get his first touch for the night at left half back for the Demons. Inside the first 2 minutes here. Patient from both sides so far. As Hunter has the ball now. Tucked in on the boundary lines. Broadcast wing. A left foot ball down the line. Gawn the target. Van Rooyen came steaming in.
It's already the presence of the two big boys, Gawn and Grundy, getting free kicks early.
Gawny does get the free kick this time against Pitnet. He's 80 from home. Loads up Big Gawny. Puts it in towards the pocket. He's out of position, Petrarca. Wasn't even looking at the pill. And then Doherty scrambles one about 15. Oliver there, scrapping. Cripps taken to the turf in the tackle. Neil Bullen, he gets the scraps and just mongrels one to the top of the square. Lurking on it, Van Rooyen. Handball's out. Couldn't quite hit the target. A little shifty ball outside the 50 to no one in particular. And out of bounds, 55 around from the punt road goal. Left to your radio dial. 2.5 gone first term. Both sides yet to score.
One of the great matchups tonight is going to be Nick Newman on Christian Petrarca. We know the jobs Newman have done this year. Christian Petrarca, obviously one of the best players in the competition.
35 disposals last week for Nick Newman. Career high numbers for him. Here's Oliver off the back of the stoppage. Tumbles the ball inside 50. Van Rooyen had a look at it, as did Grundy. Greasy ball slipped through his hands. Pickett controlled it nicely. Gave a handball to Jordan. And he pokes a pass into the pocket. That's wide of Langdon. And it'll be thrown in. Punt road in. 25 around from the Blues goal. From the Demons goal, I should say. Neither team yet to score. Triple M Shell scoreboard. Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL.
As the ball's back in, Pitnet goes to work against Grundy this time. Tap at the front. Neil Bullen there. Spun around, got boots a ball, but out to the right-hand side and out of bounds right next to the behind post. Umpires Justin Power, Ray Chamberlain, Robert Finlay and Brent Wallace taking control of proceedings tonight. As we'll have the ball back in, punt right into the ground. Attacking in for the D's. Grundy got to the front spot through his hands. Seems to be greasy out there early as Wiedering just gets boot to ball. A high one outside 50. Arms going everywhere from Gawn. Couldn't reel it in. And now the Blues from half back. They'll attack through Cripps.
Nice kick too, didn't panic. Here's Charlie Curnow to the roar of the Carlton faithful. Underneath the Shane Warne stand, he kept a low pass to Martin at half forward, who gathered and then kicked it to a dangerous spot. Fogarty kept his eyes on the footy and takes a good mark. Just inside 50, he gets back over his mark, kicks to a one-on-one in the square. Akers used his body, couldn't hang on to the mark, and Pickett came in late. Helped that one out of bounds. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Heath.
Australia nil, France nil. We're going to penalty, so keeping a close eye on that one.
It was a great contest by Lockie Hunter in the goal square. Not known to be able to defend one-on-one, Daisy. Blake Akers pretty good in the contest, but Lockie Hunter did what he had to do.
So ball in. Where is Cozzy here? He'll be lurking around this stoppage. It's Fisher. And his new role in the back line. Career high 32 last week. As the ball's at ground level, it's extracted by Rivers. Tumbles one back out to the 50. Petrarca mops up. Viney had a slippery pill through his hands. Doherty got it to Fogarty, putting it back in the Curnow direction, top of the square, and fisted away professionally by Stephen May. Out of bounds, right forward pocket. 5 gone in the first. Both sides still yet to score on the Triple M Shell scoreboard. Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL.
So it looks like May's going to just lock on to Charlie Curnow. Jake Lever is going to try and support as often as he can and roll across and be the third man in.
Ball goes out of bounds again, right next to where the boundary umpire threw it in. 20 around from goal.
Thanks, mate.
Daisy Thomas, Joey Montagna, got all of your Triple M Seabus Super special comments covered tonight. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. It's been hard work so far. No score for either team. Martin went flashing through. Good pick up by Viney. Gave it to Salem and he kicks it wide. A foot race on Langdon and last week's rising star Hollands. Langdon wins the battle and kicks it about 45 metres further ahead.
Wiedering, though, arrives on the scene first and he comes back inside the camp. He's all on his Pat Malone, so he gets on the bike, sends the kick through the spine. Fisher, he's going to get the handball now and he gets a left foot ball towards the pocket. Back with the flight Akers. Curnow, can he keep it in? Did well. Kept it in. He arrives back on it, paddles it out. The cavalry arrive for the Demons. May, Hunter. And he just knocks it towards the boundary line out of bounds, right forward pocket. 6.5 gone first term. This is the kind of start we were expecting to see, boys.
Well, I think so. I think the conditions are going to make it tough. A lot of ground balls. And as we said, these two teams, good contest and pressure sides. It's going to be a scrap and an arm wrestle.
To give that tap out to the Koning. Salem again, been busy. Another rush kick. Sard couldn't fist it away. Nice pick up by Grundy. And the Demons attack the members' side. Outside banana kick is only in favour of Carlton. They got the wall set up. First Kemp. And now Newman. He looks for Jacob Wiedering. 4th in the competition for marks taken this season. He's got Newman. Next link in the chain is Adam Sard. Members win.
Looks up. Not a lot ahead of him. Akers calling for it short. Not a lot of movement. As the umpire arrives and says to Nick Newman, get out of the way. So Sard will take it neutral territory on this broadcast side. They seem to be controlling it at half-back at the moment, Carlton, as they go forward again here, deconing the target, coming through Gawn. Front and centre, Grundy like a rover. He just tried to shrug off the tackle from Hewitt, couldn't get rid of him. And the umpire says holding the ball.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous call. If he just had a flopped and taken the tackle, it would be a ball up. But because he actually just tried to wrestle a little bit and show some strength, he's been pinged.
George Hewitt from just outside 50. Kicks to a heavily populated goal squirrel. The Demons defenders come across. Fisted out of bounds. 8 minutes gone. Triple M Shell scoreboard. And still no score here in front of a good, solid Saturday evening crowd at the MCG.
I think you're right. The rest will roll in once this penalty shootout's taken place. Still yet to start.
Ball tapped down, Gawn. Hunter there. Akers collects. He's tackled immediately by Sparrow. And then a kick back inside 50. Flying high there, Smith. Couldn't quite. And now Viney. A loopy handball back outside the 50, only as far as Sard. He got it to Doherty around his left shoulder. Back inside the 50. Arriving on the scene, Fogarty couldn't quite. On his knees, Hewitt knocked it out the back. Geez, it's a bar of soap at the moment. It's just spilling around at ground level. As Viney got taken high, the umpires put the whistle away, so he burrows in again. Sparrow couldn't collect cleanly either. And now Hewitt, he's tackled down by Oliver, slung. And the ball back inside 50, he's mopped up by Rivers, and he'll send it back outside the broadcast wing.
They look for Brodie Grundy up the line. Couldn't get involved in the contest in the end, and Fisher turns around, goes back to Newman. And Carlton right next to the centre circle. Load up through Jacob Wiedering. Dangerous kick. But Jake Lever chimes in front and marks. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Joey.
First penalty to France. It's been saved by Australia. Mackenzie Arnold, great save by her. So France have missed their first penalty.
So advantage here as the kick inside 50 for the Blues. Lever, steady head. Right foot ball out in the Pickett direction. Oh, Cozzy. He got a bit of a step ladder on Chincotta. Love to see this one on the Triple M Harvey Norman August through it days.
Well, he didn't end up getting much of a ride. He just elevated and just with sheer vertical leap cleared Chincotta's head with his backside, took a really nice chest mark.
And then I think he had vertigo because the kick was a straight turnover from Pickett. And back into the hands of Nick Newman, who's finding a bit of the footy early on. One of his Reds Head lenders, Heath, Nick Newman.
Nick Newman, 4 disposals, equal high for Carlton, 3 marks as well.
Hollands from the boundary line, kicks to a 2-on-2. His hands from Lever. Cripps got a toe poke on it, rolls inside Carlton's forward 50. Viney first there, couldn't pick it up. Cripps handballed it away, but Joel Smith jams it on the boot. It's going to be one of those sorts of nights, and it's marked by Brayshaw.
He goes out wide, Pickett lurking out the back, takes the chest mark, looks into the spine now. Darts a ball on the 45, it's cut off by Pitnet. He handballs back to Camp, who retreats further. Newman. Little chiselling ball, finds Chincotta, and then he looks for another partner out wide.
You can see the Blues are happy to go sideways and lateral here, just allowing them to get a number ahead of the ball to equalise with Lever and May. So this goes to a 2-on-2 rather than the D's having the advantage.
So Kemp long and strong down the line. The spoil came. Fisher at the spill. Right football forward. Curnow against May. Mouth-watering contest between those two premiers tonight. 68 for the year so far for Curnow. Only 3 left. How many will he kick for the year?
Choice Hotels around the grounds.
Australia's scored their first penalty. Caitlin Ford just put one in the back of the net, so we're in front at this stage.
Nicely done, Heath. One eye there and one eye here. Viney helps it forward. Right next to the wing. Van Rooyen, good tackle. Fair and legal it looks. Umpire Brent Wallace, let it go. Shows leniency in the greasy conditions. Van Rooyen on the Harvey Norman replay. Good tackle on Brodie Kemp. He's thrown up on the outer side. Dow can't keep it in front of Brayshaw. Mickey Roberts, Bob Jane T-Marts.
We had a lot of rain prior to the game, about an hour in, so greasy ground, really difficult, contested ball, a lot of numbers around it. That's why it's messy. It'll take a while. It'll take a while for these conditions to calm down a bit.
Well, JT Mart's got great buy, 3 get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. There's another stoppage ensues on the outer wing. Ball down. Ground level scrapping, as Robbo said. Players still adjusting to these breezy conditions as Hollands jams one up to the 50, coming out. Owies pivots, turns boundary side, and then lines them up from 45. A high one to the line. Curnow there, dropped the mark. And it hit the post for a minor score. The first score of the evening comes at the 13-minute mark of the first. Goes the way of the Blues on the Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Well, he did all the hard work there, Charlie. Got rid of Stephen May. Big body contest, just had to take the mark. Fell through his fingers with the slippery ball.
Now May to take the kick-in duties for Melbourne. Long up the middle. Big fly from Grundy, who's been involved early, but hasn't been able to really get hands on the footy. That time gave a quick handball to half-back, and McVie got it on the boot inside the centre square at the MCG. Chincotta for Carlton. Quick kick forward. Here comes Charlie. Marks on his chest, 35 out, 45-degree angle to give the Blues the first of the night.
Well, it's great desire and intent for Charlie to get to that contest. Stephen May dropped off him, thinking he wouldn't get there, and he just ran and launched, and they might eventually get some reward for effort. Ethan, what are the inside 50s?
Inside 50s, 14-2 Carlton's way. Last 12 of the game, all to the Blues.
He leads the Coleman medal right now. Big stage. He sprayed that one out of bounds on the full. That is missed by a long way. Choice Hotels around the grounds.
So France leading 2-1 at the moment in penalties. Sam Kerr about to step up. Steph Catley had her last penalty saved for Australia. So it's level pegging at the moment.
Outside 50 now for the D's, and it's spoiled by Pitnet out of bounds in front of the MCC members. 14-minute mark of the first. Carlton, the run of the play in their forward half. It's Choice Hotels around the grounds again, Sam Kerr.
Yeah, back of the net, 2-2 at the moment.
So ball in. Tap forward by Gawn. He collects his own pill, and then the handball forward cut off Hewitt. He was knocked on the handball. It came out to Akers. He's going to get it back, Hewitt. Marchbank. Handball forward. He found Cunningham, who got it back to Akers. They're messing around by hand in the greasy conditions. A scrubby ball forward. Salem couldn't take it. Hewitt again. Dives on top, trying to extract it, Viney. Now Salem got it out the back door to Rivers, who got it even further back to Gawn, who pumps it to half forward.
It was an unfashionable kick, but it made Newman accountable, and he won his one-on-one. Nice work from the Blues defender. Kemp hung it in the air for a while. Brayshaw fists it towards the boundary line. Hunter kept it in. Fisher's toe poke was clever, then the 1-2. Nice handball releases Dow at right half forward. Sends it deep for Curnow. Got it! Great build-up from the Blues, and Charlie's got a second chance to kick Carlton's first of the night.
Just brilliant strength. Watching that ahead of the ball as Dow broke away. He and Lever there on the Harvey Norman replay, I should say, and May it was. Just too big, too strong. May tried to put the clamps on. Charlie shrugged it and then came back. Great timing, great craft.
68 goals, 40 for the season coming into tonight. Big night, big atmosphere. Carlton break the deadlock after 16 minutes. They're 1-1-7. The Demons are yet to score. Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Gee, he looks on Big Charles, doesn't he? He could have already had 3, really, in what's going to be a low-scoring Dower affair. It's going to take some match winners. And he is up and about, as Daisy said, too strong for Stephen May, but we'll get the Choice Hotels around the grounds, Ethan.
Yeah, Mary Fowler's just put one in the back of the net, so 3-3 at the moment in penalties from 4 attempts each. Both teams have had one save and scored 3, so really even at the moment. Next one matters for France. Keeping a close eye on it.
Back in the middle here for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy on a Saturday night at the MCG. Carlton lead by 7. 16 and a half gone in the first. As the Sherrans bounce down in the middle. What's happened?
What's happened?
He saved it!
Joey.
We've saved it again.
She saved it.
This is it. We've got a penalty to win.
Sick one here. And we go through to the next round as it's inside 50 here for Carlton. Knocked forward by Martin. Cunningham loping behind him as Motlop handballs back into a dangerous spot. It's tunnelling around at ground level. Throwing his body in on the line there was Lever. And now Bowie taken down, got it to Lever. Outside the 50, tucked in on the boundary, and Brayshaw happy to see it over. 50 around from the City end goal. 17 and a half.
Excuse me, we're calling the shot here.
Yeah.
It's Mackenzie Arnold, the goalkeeper.
She's just saved it.
She's just saved 2. She's going to take the penalty. The final kick to put Australia through to the semi-final. And she's hit the crossbar. She's hit the crossbar.
Pretty sure we've just broken broadcast violations, Joey. Pretty sure we're not allowed to just call it ball by ball. You can pay the fine.
I called it after she kicked it. I just said what happened. It was on delay.
Collective growth.
Just 60 out from goal. Our boss, Ewan Giles, has just updated his LinkedIn profile. He's shitting himself all of a sudden. Ball bounces to the wing. Kemp, Wiedering. His kick gains about 15 metres. Joey missed the pre-game meeting about what we're going to do when there's penalties on. It's gone. Stands under the footy. There's a block before that, Timmy. It'll be a Carlton free kick. Jack Martin, 65 out from goal.
He's got the lead from Curnow. He dishes off to Cottrell. He runs to 55. He puts it in the Curnow direction now, but May got time to close him down. Akers there, taken down in the tackle. Fogarty dives on top, locks it in. 40 metres out from Carlton's goal. Time in forward half again, Heath, if you could, on the Triple M Reds Heads.
75%, 18 inside, 50s to 2 Carlton's way.
Reds Head lending loans for the self-employed, redzed.com as Brayshaw scrambles one back outside of the 50. Newman climbing over the top of Jordan. And then a hurry kick forward by Melbourne. Onto the chest of Viney, it slips off. Sard there, harasses him, gets the ball up to De Koning. A left high ball inside 50. Martin has to be gone. Ball comes to ground. Lurking, swooping on it was Salem. Couldn't get boot to ball. And now Gawn sinks the big slipper in, and they're out of danger for only moments as Chincotta takes the mark 55 metres out.
Now he's a long kick of the footy, Alex Chincotta, but with a wet ball, might just test him.
Top of the square is in the option. Gawn's got back.
So instead heads into the pocket. Martin tried to get a ride. It's off hands.
Go through, Jake.
And out of bounds. Right forward pocket. About 30 around from the Blues goal. They've dominated the first 20 minutes of this game. They're 1-1-7. Demons yet to score. Choice Hotels around the grounds, Heath.
France have scored, so we need this penalty to stay alive in the World Cup.
It's a ball in. We'll get that to you soon. A Scorn down. Salem there. Slippery ball slips through, and Hewitt couldn't pick it up. Motlop. Neil Bullen there had one arm clamped in the tackle.
Mine, please.
And the umpire arrives on the scene and talk us through it.
Am I allowed to say what happened?
Yeah, talk us through it, Joey.
The goalkeeper went the right way, but Gorry's kick was too good.
So what is it? It's 4-4, Heath?
4-4 at the moment, so France about to step up.
Action, Tom.
What I do know is that if Fox Sports get the soccer back in the next broadcast rights, Joey, you should just save tonight as just a little demo.
I think Simon Hill and I should be calling together.
Hill, Slater, Montagna. That's his Saturday night lineup for the A-League when it comes back to Fox.
Speedy be disappointed.
Simon Hill gets there first. So another throw in.
Oh, jeepers.
Joey, what happened? Choice Hotels?
Well, the French girls just bombed it straight to the top of the net and went inside, so they are up again by 1.
Oui.
Beautiful eyelashes.
Dow taken high. Should have been a free kick. Perhaps. Ray Chamberlain says no. Harvey Norman replay.
Tom.
No, probably not there. Epic audio sale. Huge deals on earbuds, headphones, smart speakers, and more now at Harvey Norman.
Out of the stoppage. Couldn't quite Fogarty. Martin got it to Cottrell. 40 out. Loopy Hemel wide for De Koning. Knocked out in the Viney tackle. Jordan got it to Langdon. Back for Sparrow, who spears a low flat one, and Milksham just uses the greasy turf as he slides in and takes the mark at right half back.
Australia standing ready to take the next penalty, and we're okay. The penalty shootout continues at the World Cup. Play continues here as well. It's the Blues 1-1-7. He's yet to score. And only 2 inside 50s of the first 22 of the game for Melbourne.
You know, this story goes, straight up the other end and score.
Yep. Are you talking about the soccer or the...
No,
the
footy.
Could be both.
I was thinking about this footy. It's not a great endorsement for those that say, there's more goals kicked in AFL than there is in the soccer. Nearly quarter time, we've had the 1 goal.
Not at the moment. Fogarty to a pack at half forward, slips through the fingertips of May, slips through the fingertips of Cunningham for Carlton as well. Umpire lurking, and no one loves to pay a holding the ball more than Ray Chamberlain.
Cunningham, 70 from home, looks into the corridor. He's got Akers there. Might have got a little paw on that, Petrarca. Brayshaw did well, got it on the up. And they'll build again from half back. Hunter, a scrambly, burning ball to half forward. Numbers here with the Blues. Marchbank, back to Camp. A low flat, darting ball onto the chest of Fogarty. He's going to go back on the 45 to centre half back. Sard completes the switch to the other side, where he's got Newman. Lopes away, looks into the corridor, slipped through the hands of Bowie, and then they're going to work it forward here. Akers, he winds up as he's mowed down by Pickett. Slid off the side of the boot. Picking it up, Martin, tucked in on the boundary. Hollins puts it back to the hot spot. Good Mark Hewitt in the wet conditions. 35 out on a slight angle.
Well, they need to get some reward for effort, the Blues. They've absolutely dominated. As Ali Carpenter has put it in the back of the net. Crucial penalty, so we're back on level pegging. She's pumped.
Nice, George.
Goal for goal.
The Blues going to need to get something for it. They'll be flat if they go in at quarter time only with the one goal, Carlton, when it's 22 inside 50s to 2.
So he's only kicked the 2 majors for the year, George Hewitt. He lopes his way in, sets sail from 40. Misses to the right. 1 goal, 2-8, Carlton. Demons yet to register a score. 24 minutes gone in the first on the Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Red Z Lending, Heath. Who's finding it in the first quarter for the Blues?
Yeah, Red Z Lending stats. Brody Kemp leading the way with 10, Hewitt 9. Brayshaw 8 as France missed their penalty. So Australia need this one. Next penalty up. They score. They're through to the semi-finals.
Let's go.
We'll get back to that in a second. Wiedering kicks into the pocket for the Blues. Another inside 50, but another that's coming back out. Akers set up about 60 out from the Blues goal. Shrugs the tackle. Sets it up to the goal square. Martin came flying in from the side. Curnow couldn't get a look at it. Oh, he's off the ground. He's across the face.
We're going to a score review in the soccer.
Wow.
What do you mean?
I have no idea.
I think maybe they're thinking Mackenzie Arnold stepped off the line, came forward early. The goalkeeper is what they are checking. I think she'd been warned earlier in the penalty shootout. Uh-oh.
Drama.
Oh, no.
Tension.
Are you allowed to take one step off or not at all?
I think they're going to say technically you can't do that, and they're going to take it again.
Good, mate.
Couldn't write that script.
Umpire.
Broadcast wing, Chandler on the up. Jordan to half forward. Petrarca, look away, handball to space. Beautiful for Chandler. Handballs to Melksham. He's going to shake off Sard. Snap towards goal. Hasn't got the journey. But it doesn't matter because sliding in Langdon has taken the mark in the goal square, punt right end.
Well, eventually, as Daisy said, all the play down at Carlton's end, Melbourne were going to go down, and they had space everywhere. And then Langdon will kick a goal. While that was happening, I missed what happened with the soccer.
Is that a replay or has she done the exact same save?
She has saved it again, Mackenzie Arnold. One more chance to win for the Aussies. Call the Ed Langdon goal first, though, boys.
Back live here at the G. Langdon from the top of the square. He kisses his finger, points to the sky. He's got the job done. First goal for the D's comes at the 26-minute mark of the first. And Carlton lead by 3 points on the Triple M Shell scoreboard.
Well, they've done a great job, the D's, just hanging in there defensively. All the footy living down there. And then just a really nice passage of play. That handball from Petrarca was absolute class. Langdon fortuitously on the goal line. And for all the Blues' dominance now, just 3 points clear on the scoreboard.
49 seconds left in this first quarter. Total dominance from Carlton. Scoreboard, though. Tells a different story. Joey, what happened? Choice Hotels.
The goalkeeper has saved Vine's kick that would have put us through to the semi-final. So the tension continues, Jack. It's unbearable.
She's gone left and saved it with her left paw.
Claire Hunt, I should say. Claire Hunt.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Quick hands out of the middle. Brayshaw to Grundy. Inside the last minute of the first term. Grundy's kick, not a great one. And Brody Kemp. How many's he had in this first quarter, Eve?
Brody Kemp, Red Z. That's disposal number 11, most of any player on the ground.
Nice, Hev. Good to see you are watching this game here live.
1 metre.
It's Doherty from half-back, sprints away. Long penetrating drop punt. It's out very wide. Cunningham had to work. And spoiled across by Rivers. Just attacking side of this broadcast wing for the Blues. 20 seconds left in this first and I think McKenzie Arnold. What's happening, Choice Hotels?
France have missed straight off the left post. France have missed. So again, Australia need this one through to the semi-finals if they get this next penalty.
Oliver from the stoppage sends it to half forward, but Wiedering.
How many people they got left to kick?
I'd say the ones that are waiting are the ones that don't really want to take the kick.
Oh, no.
So wide here. It's been an interesting first term, not only here at the MCG, between two sides that have been rolling hard in the last 8 weeks, but also live. What's happening? One more time. Choice Hotels around the ground, Heath.
Australia score this penalty. They're through to the World Cup semi-final. Don't know who's about to take it. I think it's fine. So if they get this Australia, it's 6-6 at the moment. This is Australia's 10th penalty after France just missed their last one. They get this. They're through to the World Cup semi-final.
She's on the runway here. And they're through. Unbelievable scenes. The Matildas have won the penalty shootout in the most dramatic of fashions.
I love soccer.
Will stay live. They've got a big huddle up in Brisbane.
The MCG's gone bonkers.
Absolutely distraught. The Matildas are through. And live here at the MCG, it's Carlton 139. Melbourne 1 goal straight 6 for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Shell V-Power, the official fuel partner of the AFL.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Macca's Cheesy Range. Have a post-game stretch.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M's Sunday Rub brings new ideas to the game.
I reckon 1 goal assist is the equivalent to 2 goals, if you look at it.
Even if it's for our own benefit.
That means that game against Melbourne where you had 10 goal assists and kicked 5, you actually kicked 27 goals.
How many did Fred Fanning kick?
18.
18. How many did he give off that?
He might only give off 3, I think.
So I've basically got the record by sticks.
Join the Temper Mattress call team tomorrow from 1 for St Kilda and Richmond. For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
Choose between 100% Aussie beef or crispy chicken. Then add a golden cheesy patty and tomato chili jam. The cheesy chicken and cheesy beef are back at Macca's because everything's better with cheese. Available after 10:30 a.m. for a limited time.
With an average return of 8.89% per annum for the past 39 years, it's good to know Cbus are making your money work as hard as you.
Is that for shift workers, factory workers, builders and mechanics?
Yep, anyone who does hard work.
Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TMD to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Go full sport with Code Sports, Australia's biggest and most experienced sports news team, featuring leading experts with decades of experience in the game, bringing you the in-depth stories that matter. For all your sport now in the one place, visit Code Sports today.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery.
Take me now, hot cool man. Take me now, Sexyland.
Sexyland.com.au.
At Amart, enjoy unmissable savings on our signature collection. Get a minimum 20% off our entire premium range of furniture, so you can bring stylish comfort and quality craftsmanship to your home. Offer ends soon, so hurry into Amart.
Tonight, in Australia, 500,000 households will struggle to put dinner on the table. Foodbank works with the entire food and grocery industry to ensure no Aussie is left behind. Working in a surprise chain, we never know what donations we'll end up with. So to make sure we don't go without popular pantry staples like pasta and pasta sauce, we work with generous donors to make them. Want to help? Need help? head to foodbank.org.au.
Dads, they're smart, funny, caring, and someone you know you can always count on. Hi, it's Marty Sheargold giving you all the businesses out there a little tip to get the most out of this Father's Day. When it comes to presents, dads are pretty fuss-free, much like audio. Cut through the clutter and put your business where it can be heard. Advertise right here on this station and unlock thousands of potential new customers using the power of audio. Visit triplem.com.au/advertise local.
Need more data? Aussie Broadband keeps you connected with flexible mobile plans to suit your actual life. So make your phone plan what you need it. That's the actual Aussie way. Search Aussie Broadband today. T's and C's apply.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Quarter time at the MCG. The Blues lead 1-3-9 to the Demons, 1 straight 6 from McDonald's, and Ream Hot Water, built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream. But to be honest, the footy was secondary to the Matildas for the first quarter. Choice Hotels Eats, we're through to the final four.
Yep, 7-6 on penalties. Australia through, beating France. Courtney Vine with the winning penalty there. So we're through to play either England or Colombia. Whoever wins that game, which is about to start next up, will play that Wednesday night in Sydney.
Robbo, for Bob Jane team answer, the crowd went off when we won.
Well, we might as well just start this game again. They're 1 goal apiece. They're coming out of the bars. They've been in the Percy Bean Bar, the bull ring, the big screen. They're coming out with pots, the whole lot. The joint went up. Seriously, I tell you who was emotional too. Michael Voss come out of their huddle and was screaming at his assistants as they came to the stairwell here. So something's irritated the Carlton coach, but bugger the footy. How good the Matildas. Let's get it on now.
I thought Robbo was saying Vossi was emotional about the Matildas getting up.
Yeah.
Maybe Vossi was watching that instead of the first quarter, because they'll be disappointed, the Blues. 24 inside 50s to 4, and they lead by 3 points. I'm not sure how often you would see a stat like that, Daisy, but Melbourne held up well defensively. Blues couldn't take their chances, and now we get stuck back into it from the middle, set up 6-6-6, and see how we go.
It'd be interesting to see how Michael Voss put that to the group, because obviously having all the domination is fantastic, but you just have to find a way to get a clear entry. A lot of them, and we do know it is a touch wet and slippery, but the ones where they got Charlie Curnow in a one-on-one looked obviously a lot more dangerous than when it was just hack kick to the top of the square, allowing the Demons to get back with numbers in defence.
There's a different feeling right now, isn't there? There's a different vibe around the MCG. Everyone's pumped, everyone's up. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Sam Doherty starting in the middle for this second quarter, won the clearance, gave it down, but he was bumped off the footy. Viney kicked forward, but it was touched, as you heard. Umpires, as always, mic'd up exclusively for Triple M footy. Langdon kicks it off the ground. It rolls inside 50. Petrarca right forward pocket. Couldn't keep it in play. It's out of bounds. in front of Adam Sard. First quarter numbers, Heath, who's finding the footy?
Yeah, Brody Kemp leading the way, 11. George Hewitt, 9. Brayshaw, the most from Melbourne, with 10. Petrarca, 5. Oliver, 4. Low numbers for them at the moment.
Petrarca played forward first quarter, starting this second quarter in the centre bounce.
On cue, he rose the ball at the stoppage, got it out. Jordan, then the snap back inside onto the chest of Wiedering.
Play on.
Goes wide to Sard, not the 15. You heard the umpire, exclusively Mike for Triple M. Sard goes out to Akers. Fisher tried to sell Candy and then went to slip over. Got the handball in time down the line. Found Hewitt, who got it to Curnow around his body. Sliding in was De Koning. Through his legs and scrapping at ground level. Smith. They fight for it and tussle. And the umpire says, give it to me in front of the interchange gates. Broadcast wing. Early stages of the second term. Carlton 9, leading Melbourne 6.
It's a greasy, slippery night here at the MCG. Tough footy to control as Salem gains about 20 metres with his kick on the wing. Akers chimes in and marks for the Blues. Waste no time, sends a long ball to the top of 50. De Koning camped underneath it. Gawn does the roving. Handball to Langdon. It slipped through his legs, Viney. Back to Langdon at half-back, and Oliver, who started this game pretty well in his return from a hamstring injury, assesses his options, had his kick smothered, bounces into the waiting arms of Newman.
Went through the hands of Motlop. On his hands and knees, Oliver. Hewitt sliding in, got it out to Cunningham, who wobbles a worm, burner to the 50, and coming out full-chested Owies. Takes the mark right on the perimeter. He wheels and goes now. He pops it in the Curnow direction, got a leap at it, and worked under by May. And his partner in crime, Lever, out the back, takes it in the back pocket.
Well, there's the matchup. Lever started on Owies and paid him no respect when that ball came in. That's why Owies was free, but then Lever drops off and takes the intercept mark.
That's the voice of Joey Montagna alongside Daisy Thomas tonight. A Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. And his hard work tonight. Viney loves it when it's hard like this. Tackled to the ground by Dow. Ball rolls and rolls to half forward. Motlop picks it up. Then Marchbank kicks quickly.
Play on.
It's marked by Lever, who sets it up. Jordan at half-back has Petrarca dashing through the middle of the MCG.
He asks him to come at it. No one there. Running back with a flight milks him, so he puts it in his path, mops it up, goes this way, that way, and then tumbles one to the square. All on his lonesome. Chandler drills it from point-blank range. 3-minute mark of the second on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Reads Carlton 139, Melbourne 2 straight 12.
Well, it seems like the D's just happy with the rope-a-dope at the minute, getting all their numbers behind the footy. The Blues owning territory, owning inside 50s. But the D's, when they break, they've got so much space. Need to be better, the Carlton defenders, at making sure they don't all get sucked into where the ball's going when it's coming out of that D50. Trying to get involved in offence, but you also need to make sure that you're structurally set up behind. Melksham was out the back there, lost all structure, did the Blues. Clever kick from Petrarca.
It's a clever play from Melksham too. He's such a good player. He always does something. He can play multiple roles. He always has impact. He was able to get out goal side on Blake Acres, who was caught ball watching momentarily, and then unselfishly put it into the path of young Chandler.
It's an interesting one, Jake Melksham. They're 7-3 when he plays this year. For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, Triple M Knox footy. It's having an impact again tonight as Dow wins the clearance for Carlton. Long driving ball at the back. Motlop couldn't mark, was bodied off. Now Doherty tucked away in the right forward pocket. Bouncing across the face. And not that far off. The Blues 1-4, Demons 2 straight. 4 minutes gone. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
May scans the field and looks to the outer wing now. Puts it to the half-back, direction back with a flight. Good stuff, Rivers. He handballs immediately. He's got Neil Bullen driving. Sends the kick forward. Onto the chest of Gawn. Good build up here, coast to coast. As Rivers again sends one into the pocket. Little fingertip was good by Marchbank. As Melksham was sitting and waiting, he got a little fingertip in there and knocked it out of bounds, left forward pocket. 5 minutes gone, second term. Carlton 10. Demons 12, Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Titanium Caravans, built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Pickett lurking around the stoppage. Was given a bit of leniency. Had prior. Umpire said play on. Had 45 out from the Demons goal. Grundy had his kick smothered. Ricochets out to the wing. Gawn is first there. Bends down and picks it up. Got one high as well.
High contact, Melbourne.
Free kick will come back to the Demons skipper. His last 4 games without Brodie Grundy, averaged 36 hit-outs, 21 disposals, and 6 clearances. He's been in outstanding form. He kicks to half forward. Wiedering dropped the mark. All the Demons players sat back and waited for it to hit the ground. One of them was Viney. He tackles Hewitt. Wiedering picks it up. Still 60 away from goal. Kick off the ground, went through the fingertips of Saad. We'll get a second chance after the handball from Chincotta. Off his hands to Marchbank. And he's tackled over the boundary line, and Jack Viney got another one.
Thank you, Christian. Will do. Let's hit that metre mark.
There's a bit of a hush over the crowd here. Obviously, the adrenaline was high with the Matildas getting over the line. Almost reminds me of a night, days when I went to the darts.
Yes.
And then the next day I went to the cricket, and it felt very flat. It's got the similar vibe.
I'll take your word for it, Tim.
That's Tace. As Oliver lays the tackle on Dow. And we'll have a ball up, 30 out from the City end goal.
Wiedering slow to his feet in the forward pocket there. Physio headed out his way. Do like this, though, with Brodie Grundy rucking. That allows Max Gawn to go free behind the ball, so if the Blues win it, it should be coming back.
Didn't give you a lot there, Days, did he, Timmy? I think you were hoping for a little bit more than that.
Want a bit of interaction.
Yep.
Stay there, I'll go through. Go through. Stay there,
Free kick to the Blues.
Were you at the darts the night they had the pile up with the chair?
Yes, that was the night.
I was there too.
Were you
yes.
Well, help me out.
Well, I didn't want to admit that earlier.
Which one of you two started it is the question. That ball was touched coming in, so some work to be done now for Rivers. Might have thrown that one. Umpire said play on. Cunningham spills it at half forward. Salem Spun 360. He got a handball away. Martin has his smothered. Vine, who's getting his hands dirty in the tough conditions, kicks to the wing. Van Rooyen just on the ground, couldn't mark. And Newman takes care of it safely on his chest.
He looks right back to centre-half back. Why not? He's got Wiedering there. Little flat one on the 45 onto the chest of Doherty. Just defensive side of the centre circle now. He's got Newman calling it for back out on this broadcast side. He's tentative here. He drives one into the hole. On the bounce, Hewitt. Got it on the up. Chincotta. A Wern-burning ball inside 50. Curnow, who's manhandled and arriving on the scene, was gone. Knocks it out of bounds. Left forward pocket for Carlton. 8 minutes gone, second term. 1-4-10 the Blues. The D's 2 goals straight, 12. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
De Koning and Gawn go head-to-head. Big match-up tonight for Tom De Koning. We spoke about Max Gawn's form in recent times. Sard from 60 metres out, hooks it back over his shoulder. Curnow flew. McVie waits down, got it on the left boot, and it rolls out to centre-half back. Nice pick up by Chandler. Has got a couple of runners driving by. One of them's Neil Bullen. Still inside the centre square at the MCG. Has Grundy presenting at half forward. Good kick and good hard running from Grundy. Just too far out to score, so gets back over his mark and looks for Van Rooyen. He was pushed out. Umpire on the scene. Free kick will go against Wiedering. Harvey Norman will tell the story.
Regardless of what the Harvey Norman says, it's really big moments here for Brodie Grundy. That was some nice work. He was the one who reset the field. That was a decent shove from Wiedering in the contest. Happy for that to be a free kick. But Brodie Grundy been really good as a forward. Stretching the ground there, exactly what he needed to do. Obviously been away working on his craft, but that was a great little route that he ran there to keep involved in the offence.
6 goals in the last 2 weeks. Jacob Van Rooyen. He's got a lot of responsibility in this forward line now with Harry Petty done for the season. He kept that low and it never looked like it. 9 minutes gone. The D's 2-2. The Blues 1-4. Robbo, Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, Joel Smith, a lot of claret coming out of his head, blood rule. You're going to have to stop the bleeding and then, right at the top of the crown. So they'll patch that up. You'll be okay, but uncomfortable here.
Bob Jane teammates got great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. As the Blues build, a little bit of candy from Sard in the back pocket, and he pumps a high one out. De Koning through his mitts. And then Wood Lever got out the back door, but handball cut off by Hollands, knocked out of bounds. True centre wing broadcast side. 10-minute mark of the second. Demons leading by 3, but it's a difficult, hard-fought game out there at the moment. Goals are definitely going to be hard to come by.
Charlie Curnow, the only goal kicker for Carlton. Ed Langdon and Cade Chandler, the goal kickers for the D's. The Crips, right next to the interchange bench, gave it to Cunningham and runs away from Gawn and kicks a left foot ball to the top of 50. Bowie was back there waiting for the D's and hoisting up an under ball of his own. Gawn was pushed under it. Umpire said no. Now Hewitt runs out of room and taken over. Clayton Oliver eats. Red Z Lending, first game back tonight. What are his numbers?
Yeah, first game since round 10 for Clayton Oliver. Just the 5 disposals, was averaging 33 per game before his hamstring injury.
So ball in here, left half forward for the Blues. Gawn and Pitnet. Gawn got the left paw on it. And then off the deck, Doherty got the wrong side of the Sharon. And it's gone out on the full.
The extra midfielder, though, for Melbourne now just means that they can keep their intensity up around the ball with either their contest or pressure with Viney, Brayshaw, Petrarca, and now Oliver back in the side along with James Jordan. They can just keep putting a lot of pressure on the Carlton mids.
Langdon long and strong down the line over the back of the pack. Hewitt scrambles one. Clean hands there from Cripps. Look away, got it to Cunningham. Now a left foot ball towards the pocket, but leading the foot race and diving in. Good mark, Judd McVie.
Play on.
Been one of the shining lights all season for him as he blasts one back outside the D50.
Gawn's the man that he's looking for. Couldn't mark, but tapped it on instead. Big tackle, Newman. Stuck it. Rolled with the player.
Play on.
And pins Rivers holding the ball. Gets back over his mark and plays on in the pocket. Curnow thought he was being held.
Switch, JP.
They are very Charlie conscious at the moment, Joey. Throw in 40 out from goal.
Well, he's really their only tall target down there. Jack Martin's playing the sort of pseudo second tall, so it is going to be obvious you kick it to Charlie Curnow, but they've got the best intercept support in the league in Jake Lever, who's just reading the cues, getting across at every opportunity.
It's a ball in. Pitnet and Gawn both had fresh air. He's Cunningham off his shins. Right on attacking 50 here for the Blues as Pickett slices his way through the traffic, puts it to the broadcast wing. The spoil came, but at the spill was Langdon. Time to assess. A long driving ball towards Melksham, flies over the top. Marchbank kept his feet, and he'll arrive back on the ball. He looks up and goes across the goal face, and he's got Chincotta.
He did that well, Marchbank. Didn't panic.
Gee, when Melbourne are getting out, though, that's 3 times now this quarter. Their spread is much better than Carlton's. And that's why they've been able to transition from D50 to inside 50 and getting good looks despite only 10 entries to 32. They've been able to score.
It's the Saints Hall of Famer, Lee Montagna, alongside Dale Thomas. Our Triple M Seabus Super Special comments tonight. Kemp looks out wide to Martin, outer side wing. Short and careful, Cottrell. A part of this build-up, Martin once more, and now he finds Motlop. He's a kick and a half around from goal as the Blues attack the punt road end in this second quarter. Kept it low and flat. Pinpoint pass for David Cunningham on the lead, 40 out.
Much better inside forward 50 kick there. Cunningham, the direct opponent on that occasion of Lever. So Lever again had dropped off. He'd gone to the left forward pocket where Charlie Curnow had May as the matchup. Did a really good job, Cunningham, of coming back, splitting, drawing the kicker's eyes and attention. It was a nice finish to hit him lace out.
Reports of a new deal for David Cunningham not too far away. He got underneath this one and misses. Not by much, but misses. And Carlton continue to squander their chances in this first half. They're 1-5-11. The Demons 2-1-13, Timmy. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Bowie goes wide for Lever. Raking left foot ball outside the 50, and Van Rooyen strong with the sticky mitts. He looks into the corridor now, sends the kick to half forward. Petrarca, good fly over Marchbank, collects on the bounce. Handball over top, Neil Bullen tried to spin out of the tackle. They pounce on him. And it's holding the ball.
No.
As Razor comes in with a stern word.
Stand in time.
It was another good tackle. I think Newman was the man again. That's twice now. He's chucked the backpack on and just pulled blokes to the ground. The Ds were out, though. If Neil Bullen had been able to hack a kick forward, they had 3 people running unopposed towards the goal line.
We're underway at Optus Stadium, Heath. Choice hotels around the grounds.
Yeah, low-scoring game in the Derby, of course. It's West Coast with the first blow, though. 1 straight 6. Fremantle yet to score.
Under the wing, DeConing was taken out. Advantage paid. Dow kicks to a one-on-one inside 50. Owies working Bowie under the footy. Had Cripps driving by and missed him. Good tackle, influenced the result. Now Salem looks for the short kick for Viney at centre-half back.
Thought about the counter-attack. Instead, he holds it up for a moment. And then a drop punt to half forward. Wiedering outside. Pickett at the spill. Clean hands. Nurses one over the top for Petrarca, who's taken the mark. 35 out on a 45.
Can you move forward, buddy? Okay,
watch this on the Harvey Norman. It was Pickett with the clean hands on the outer wing, and as Joey said, the run and spread too good.
Yeah, they're getting out the back again. It was an ambitious kick to a one-on-one that was Wiedering and Neil Bullen, but Wiedering couldn't take the mark, and as you called, Timmy, Cozzy Pickett just in the right spot to win front square. And from there, when you win that contest at half forward, you're able to get good looks inside 50.
23 goals, 29 for the year. Hasn't been his most accurate season, and goals are premium tonight. To the city end of the ground. The goal umpire didn't move. 2 fingers, 3rd goal for the Ds. They're 3-1-19. Carlton 1-5-11. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
We're going to have to keep a close eye on this, Joey, to figure out what is actually going wrong for the Carlton defence, because usually if you're winning the territory battle, you get the opportunity to set up the ground. It must be the spread or just a lack of concentration from the back 6, because they're getting opened up every time the Ds win the ball back and they connect the field from D50 into the centre. They're just heading straight down, head down towards goal, turning the defenders around. Not good enough, losing all their shape.
Yeah, and Red Z Lending Stats, they're smacking Melbourne to territory battle, as you were saying, Joey. 34 inside 50s to 12. 3 of Melbourne's 4 scores, though, so far from defensive half turnover.
So that one there, we've got to look at it on the Harvey Norman, was Fisher. So he was 5 metres goal side of Petrarca, his goal side, so the wrong side for a defender, and waiting to win the ball back if Wiedering got it. He was going to take off. Instead, the D's win a critical contest. Petrarca's out goal side.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Free kick out of the middle for the Demons, and Hunter kicks low inside 50. Grundy stayed down, read it well, and then pokes a pass into the pocket. Van Rooyen got it. Had 2 Carlton players bearing down on him, but hugs it in tightly to his chest and marks in the left forward pocket.
Gee, it's a good mark. That was Jacob Wiedering, the best defender in the comp the last 6 or 8 weeks, all over him. I just love how he presents. I love his competitiveness.
Clever kick.
Slipped over too.
Good kick to advantage. And Van Rooyen slipped, got to his feet, attacked the ball. This kid's going to enjoy playing September footy, I reckon.
For his first of the night. A few steps in from the boundary line. And he works that right across the face for a minor score. 3-2 plays 1-5. Mickey Roberts, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, have a look at Joel Smith. He's just run on. He's had that the blood rule taped over the head, got a gash in the... It's taped over his ears. He can't hear a thing. They've stopped the bleeding, but they've taped over his ears completely. He's mummified.
Let us know if they start getting sign language down there, Robbo, to communicate.
As De Koning takes a good chest mark. Left half back. He's just going to poke a little short kick and finds the captain, Cripps. Driving by Hollands. A little darting ball forward is beautifully weighted for Martin, who leaked out the back, and he's taken the mark. 40 out on a 45.
Where you are now? Where you are, buddy?
It's no doubt been their plan, Carlton. It looks like those short kicks, Daisy. They've taken nearly 50 already, I think, Ethan, in sort of these greasy conditions, because they know that draws out Melbourne's defenders. If you can just punch your way through Melbourne's zone defence and not kick long down the line, you're able to get some opportunity, and that's what they've been able to do. 47 uncontested marks to 18 in Carlton's favour.
He's been one of the differences for mine in the last 7 wins. Having him back in this side adds dynamic, and that kick is dynamic. High fives all around for Jack Martin. Blues finally register their second goal at the 19-minute mark of the second, and they trail by 3 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Well, it's a good plan if you can execute. Obviously trying to draw the defenders out. So Melbourne just praying and sweating on a long high ball. And as we've seen, when that does go in, Lever so good at reading the cues of the kicker, identifying the dangerous space, and then also the target, which isn't that hard to identify because most of the time it has been Charlie Curnow. But the ability of the Blues to lower the eye and then take the ball off a line. So that kick there, as we see on the Harvey Norman, going down the true traditional wing line. Hollands just pulls it back across his body, shaped as if he was going straight and long towards goal. A nice little pull kick to a dangerous player in a dangerous spot, and a really class finish there from Martin.
Red Z lending, Heath, uncontested possession tonight.
Uncontested possession plus 49 in Carlton's favour.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. This time a free kick from the centre bounce will be going Carlton's way. And to De Koning, who gave it to Fisher on the move. Short pass was clever. Has Dow 51 metres out from goal. And a couple of options in the pocket that he thought about.
We'll lay this off, Bob.
He's still not exactly sure what to do. So he's going to kick it as far as he possibly can. It's off the hands of Max Gawn and then helped over by Brayshaw. And it'll be thrown in. Left forward pocket at the punt road end. The Blues at 2-5-17. The Demons 3-2-20, 21 minutes gone on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Choice Hotels, Heath, the Western Derby.
Yeah, West Coast in front, 14 or 13 points the margin, I should say. Fremantle just scored for the first time 17 minutes into that game.
Kick.
So Salem gets applauded by Razor on the kick. Out to the 50. Doherty there, clamped in the tackle by Viney.
Straight up, let it go. Thank you.
So punt road into the ground.
Thanks, Sam.
Attacking into the ground here for the Demons.
Max.
For the Blues, sorry. As the ball's back up, tap down Gawn. Did well there. Hewitt got it out the back door, then a high ball Fisher. Climbing over the top there was Smith. And now Hollands knocked out of his hands in the tackle.
Bobby.
Well done there, Judd McVie. Ball out of bounds,
Max.
30 around from Carlton's goal.
Mark. Hold the meter, Mark.
This game still yet to really break open. As we mentioned a few times, it is slippery Got a lot of rain in about an hour and a half before the game. And Gaunt got rid of Pitnet pretty easily in the ruck. He's winning that duel and kicks it away from defensive 50. Sard contests with Neil Bullen in a one-on-one and it rolls out of bounds.
Max.
Choice Hotels, just take us back to earlier today, everything that's happened in round 22 so far.
Yeah, Essendon 8 points the margin over North Melbourne. Tight game, that one, of course. Ben Cunnington's farewell, kicked a couple of goals. Sydney 24 points over Gold Coast. They're now 6th on the ladder. Brisbane 6 points the margin over Adelaide.
Oliver got some separation from the stoppage. Handballs to Neil Bullen and now Jordan went streaming forward, but his kick's a shocker. And he puts that one out of bounds on the full.
That's on 5.
Well, it's not unusual for Melbourne to play in these sorts of games. We've seen it a lot over the last few years, these dour, low-scoring affairs. Remember when these two teams played back in round 12? It was something similar, 61-44 in a really scrappy, ugly game of footy.
Langdon tucked in on the boundary, was looking for Jordan, and then carried across the line. Hollands, true centre wing broadcast side. 23-minute mark of the second. Carlton 2-5-17, leading the D's 3-2-20. Some of the Red Zeds catching your eye, Heath.
Well, back on that Carlton-Melbourne clash, 3 of the last 5 games between these two sides been decided by under a goal. Had round 21 last year as well. Average margin 11 points in the last 5 clashes.
Fisher from half back. He was cramped on the kick. It went high and up and under and parked underneath Rivers.
Come. Stand.
Directly in front of the Carlton interchange. Not a lot of movement down the ground.
Move it on. Play on.
A real sting in this one as Rivers. High penetrating ball to half forward. Ball off hands, front and centre Jordan. Had a touch of the fumbles. Got it up to Langdon. Around his left shoulder. Oh, the fumbles are just contagious as Melksham drops the ball. It's swept upon by Motlop and then Doherty tumbles one out. Marchbank tried to paddle it. Cunningham did well. Got it on the up. Hewitt back to Marchbank. His handball cut off by Oliver. And now the handball to Salem. Bowie. They love the ball in his hand. As the darting ball's cut off by Sard. We've got the numbers here as Fisher gets it back to Sard, who has to just woof it straight away. Sliding in Motlop. Takes it 50 from home. He's looking out to the open side. Hands in the air everywhere. Martin leads towards him. He's not going to honour it. Given time for the D's defence to leak back, and then he just gives it the 8-iron. Akers in from the side. Big Louis Jukes clunks it 20 metres out directly in front.
It's a nice mark in the end. I'm not completely convinced about that as a mode going inside forward 50. Waited an eternity. There was players out everywhere. Just a little pull kick. It was really well done from Akers, who slid down from his wing position. Good mark. Now requires a finish.
Career best form. Should be like shelling peas. And is. Blake Akers gets his first. Carlton 3-5-23. Melbourne 3-2-20. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
I was just watching Zach Fisher, Daisy. Now that you've brought my attention to it, he's being ultra aggressive. He was playing on Christian Petrarca and he just ran forward of the ball. And luckily it spilled onto the wing and he was the one that picked up the loose ball to handball to Sard. But if the Melbourne had have won that contested ball, Petrarca and another Melbourne player were free inside 50. So they are really rolling the dice, the Carlton halfbacks in this game.
It's the three of them. You've got Sard down there, Newman and Fisher, who are all we see here on the Harvey Norman replay. They all converged and their players, they've come up to get involved in the offence. But on a wet, slippery night, you'd probably be erring a touch towards defence rather than breaking in that fashion. But they've got away with it on that occasion.
Daisy Thomas and Joey Montagna. Our expert comments tonight for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footies. Petrarca smashes the ball forward. He's still followed up. It's at centre half forward now. Hollands came in late. The Carlton player down in the middle of the ground. Looks like Adam Sard. We'll keep an eye on him. Dow's hands were good and releases Chincotta at half back. Can go wider again to Newman. Had to get back onto his left foot. It is up kicking from a standing start. Motlop drops one out of side wing. Back in board now, Melbourne. Look through Rivers. Not a lot of space out there. Viney was closed down. His hands needed to be quick. Loose ball off the hands of Jordan. Motlop comes in. Cripps comes in. Pressure good from Carlton. They force the ball up next to the centre circle.
Max. Mark. Thanks, Curry. Thank you, buddy. We're in behind.
So Razor Rail throw this one up right next to the centre circle. Ball up and down. Oliver couldn't clamp it.
High on.
They'll crash into each other. Motlop there.
Sorry.
And the ball locked in again.
Lucky. I'll go backwards, mate.
Razor having a little joke with the boys.
Talks a lot, doesn't he?
He's involved. As he throws it back in the air, Gorn. Couldn't quite. Paddy Dow. Couldn't muscle the ball as Hunter. Viney. Around his right shoulder. Back at the flight, Gorn. Bounces off his chest. Pitnet, Roves. Tackled by Pickett. Chandler on the scene. He's carried across the line by Akers. Bob Jones, Seamarch for Robbo.
Yeah, just looking at Adam Saad. He actually went down, rolling around in pain and whatever, and then just popped up. I think he was playing soccer. Just running around. Like, he's okay.
Robbo for Bob Jones, Seamarch. Hunter. Here's another handball to Salem. Dodges that first tackle. Now looks into the pocket for his kick. Wasn't intended for Petrarca, but he's that strong that he marks over his head. Left forward pocket.
Yeah, again, his opponent just gave him a little bit too much separation. Just trying to see on the Harvey Norman replay.
Paddy Cripps it was out of the
Cripps,
stoppage.
yeah. Just didn't go with him all the way inside 50.
So Petrarca went up from a forward spot as a midfielder, got the match up on Cripps and then leaked forward. Paddy Cripps only 2 or 3 steps off, but that's all you need when you got the class of this bloke.
He's third in the Brownlow in 2020. He might poll a little bit higher this year, according to many. Takes a couple of steps around and then kicks it off the side of the boot, and Wiedering belts it through for a behind. 15 seconds before the main break. It's a 2-point game here at the MCG.
Stay out, Adam, play him.
Real arm wrestle. As Newman tentatively leaves the goal square, he's caught in 5 minds and he decides to spit it wide to Saad. He's just going to chew down precious seconds here. So 3 goals apiece in this first half in wet, breezy conditions. The 2 sides that have been the informed sides coming into this one. At the major break, Carlton 3-5-23, leading the D's 3-3-21. Daisy Thomas, Joey Montagna, Ethan Meldrum, Jack Heverin, Mickey Roberts, Timmy Solly. From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M, rocks footy.
That quarter for Titanium Caravans. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For Ream Hot Water.
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Let's all gather around the radio.
When you say action, I'm your guy.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show.
Never trust a fart.
It has Marty Sheargold.
Oh, my God. Well, let me apologise in advance.
A man that isn't afraid of asking the big questions.
Hash browns. Discuss.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. It's a show for grown-ups.
I mean, flick around right now and see if anyone's doing a pumpkin story.
No.
They won't be. They'll be talking about photos of their kids.
Kickstart your day with a laugh. Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. 6 to 9 weekdays on Triple M.
Sizzling bacon and juicy 100% Aussie Angus meets a golden cheesy patty. The new Cheesy Angus at Macca's. Now that puts the win in winter. Available after 10:30am for a limited time.
Get on board the Yamaha Outboard Sale. It's the sale you've been waiting for to upgrade to a new Yamaha outboard. Right now, you can save up to $2,600 across the Yamaha 30 to 130 horsepower outboard range. Hit the water sooner and save $20 for every single horsepower. That's more horsepower for less. Get on board. Visit your local authorised Yamaha outboard dealer today. Offer ends November 15, 2023 while stocks last. Private buyers only. Terms and conditions apply.
Need a workplace safety management system? Identifiber. Doing some DIY or demolition work and worried about asbestos? Identifiber. OHS plans, air monitoring, contaminated land assessment. Identifiber, Identifiber, Identifiber. We're industry experts with over 30 years' experience in hazardous material services, occupational hygiene and risk management. For a thorough assessment and inspection of your home or office, head to identifiber.com.au.
For Ralph, the dog park's where he catches up with the locals.
Come on, Ralphie!
Macquarie's owner Zara, it's where she catches up on the local real estate.
And it's all for how much?
Discovering that the value of her own home had increased over time, Zara switched to Macquarie Bank and refinanced to a competitive rate to reduce her home loan repayments.
See, the whole process was a walk in the park.
So rethink your home loan and you could reduce your repayments. Another reason to say,
I bank with Macquarie.
Search Macquarie Home Loans or call your broker. Lending criteria, fees and T's and C's apply.
Watch the funniest couple on TV and their dog in the award-winning Aussie comedy Colin from Accounts on Binge. Boy meets girl. Girl flashes boy.
Oh my God, I hit a dog.
Oh my God. Stream it now on Binge.
What is it about our firsts? First car? First kiss? First time? First accounting software? Let's be honest, your first is never your best. At QuickBooks, we got you. Snap your receipts as you go, so you're always ready for tax time. And you'll never be lost with our award-winning customer support. Don't stay stuck on your first. Search for QuickBooks and make the switch today.
Jaycar's power sale is on now. Save up to 25% on essential power solutions like deep cycle batteries, pure sine wave inverters, solar panels, power boards, adapters and more. Hurry, ends August 13th. Power up now and save at Jaycar. Tech, electronics, power and more.
Illusion and Ultimate Wood Heaters and Gas Log Fires massive stock inventory reduction sale. We must sell the lot. Over $10 million of Australian-made heaters must be cleared. Dandenong, Epping and North Geelong. Illusionfires.com.au. Shut up. The foot is on the radio.
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. Get in, get out, get on with it at Mitre 10 Trade.
That's right, half-time of the Triple MCG. Get in, get out, get on with it at Mitre 10 Trade. Look, we've had a lot of scenes here in the box. It was kind of hard to concentrate in that first quarter because the Matildas were playing off in a big, big game against France. It was to go through to the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup. And we were all on the edge of our seats. So before we go around and get the wrap-up of this one of the stats and what actually happened here at the Triple MCG, we're going to go straight to the halftime segment. The Amy Clangers, who covers Clangers on and off the field. Amy does. And this is what was happening in the Triple M box in that first quarter. As the Sherrans bounced down in the middle. What's happened?
It's happened.
Saved it.
Joey.
We've saved it again.
She saved it.
This is it. We've got a penalty to win.
We're calling the shot here.
Yeah.
It's Mackenzie Arnold, the goalkeeper.
She's just saved it.
She's just saved two. She's going to take the penalty. The final kick to put Australia through to the semi-final. And she's hit the crossbar.
Play on.
She's hit the crossbar.
Pretty sure we've just broken broadcast violations, Joey. Pretty sure we're not allowed to just call it ball by ball. You can pay the fine.
We're going to a score review in the soccer.
Wow.
Drama.
Oh, no.
Tension.
Are you allowed to take one step off or not at all?
I think they're going to say technically you can't do that and they're going to take it again.
Is that a replay or has she done the exact same save?
She has saved it again, Mackenzie Arnold.
Scoreboard, though.
Oh,
Tells
wow.
a different story. Joey, what happened? Choice Hotels.
The goalkeeper has saved the kick that would have put us through to the semi-final. So the tension continues, Jack. It's unbearable.
She's gone left and saved it with her left paw.
20 seconds left in this first quarter. And I think Mackenzie Arnold, what's happening here? Choice Hotels.
France have missed straight off the left post. France have missed. So again, Australia need this one through to the semi-final. If they get this next penalty.
She's on the runway here. She starts right, and they're through. Unbelievable scenes. The Matildas have won the penalty shootout in the most dramatic of fashions.
I love soccer.
I'll tell you what, we've had a lot of moments. We've had the Ashes cricket on here, but that was right up there, Joey.
It was, and luckily the first quarter out here was an absolute snore fest, so there was nothing going on. The ball was just living in Carlton's forward 50, so we had to get us through, and it was very exciting, Timmy. So well done by you being very professional, while Daisy and I were being very unprofessional back
I was trying my best, Joe. Let's talk about professional. We might get the audio now from the winning moment, courtesy of Channel 7. This is how it played out live.
Well, in the past for Australia, there's been penalty shootout heartbreak. They are on the brink. This is as tense as sport gets. And it's Courtney Vine, the Sydney FC flyer. from the spot. She sends Australia through. Hold your breath. The World Cup is now just 2 steps away.
I'll tell you what, that's hairs on the back of your neck kind of stuff, isn't it, Daisy? Listening to that.
We were seeing vision of the bars in and around the MCG of everyone going up. As soon as it happened, the entire crowd roared as one as well. So there must have been a fair few out there watching on their phones and enjoying that a lot more than they were that first quarter of footy.
And then about 2 minutes later, we got the scores live here at the MCG up on the big screen. As one, about 60,000 fans just got up out of their seats and started cheering. So dramatic scenes here at the Triple MCG. Halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. Get in, get out with it. Get on with it at Mitre 10 Trade. Some of the stats from the first half, if you will.
Yeah, all Carlton, all territory at the moment. Plus 20 inside 50s for the game, 37-17. Carlton had a run where they had 20 inside 50s in a row. So just dominant in that regard, just not really converting. They've been number one in the competition for goals per inside 50 over their winning streak. Just 3 goals from 37 entries, 3 goals from 17 entries from the Ds, all from defensive half turnover. So just that run and gun from the Ds is what's keeping them in it. Leading players on the ground. Nick Newman, number 1 ranked player on the ground. He's in a really good patch of form as well. One of the top 10 rated players in the competition over the last month. 18 touches, 8 intercepts to half-time. Fisher 16, Hewitt 16 for Carlton. For the Ds, Viney leading the way with 15, Salem with the 12.
So who's had the upper hand in that first half, Joey? Daisy? I mean, it's been played a lot across half-back. The spread at times from the Demons looked okay, but it's been a real arm wrestle.
It has been. It depends how you want to look at it, Daisy. Half glass full, half glass empty. It depends on which team you want to take, because no doubt the Blues have been able to get the game more on their terms, but the problem is when it's been played in their half so much, there's so much congestion in there, so many numbers that it's hard to score, which to be honest has been a bit of Melbourne in previous years. It's been a bit of Melbourne's history where they haven't converted well because they've had so much ball in their forward half and they've locked it in, but there's numbers, and they've been able, Melbourne, to transition on the counter-attack with good speed going into an open forward line, but I don't think they ideally want to be playing the rope-a-dope, Daisy. So I think both teams have got so much upside and scope for improvement, but if I was picking right now, I think I'd be more comfortable if I was Melbourne, that they've weathered the storm and weathered Carlton's, I think, some of their best punches to go in only 2 points down.
Absolutely. The momentum in this one has all been with Carlton in terms of field position. 20 inside 50s in a row, but you go in only 2 points ahead on the scoreboard. So no doubt Melbourne again at some stage get this game on their terms and have their moments and patches of dominance. And if they do and they are able to score easily like we've been able to see in this one so far, that's the ability to put it out beyond 2-3 goals really quickly. And on a night like tonight, that just may be the margin that gets it done.
Talk about weathering the storm, Joey. There was some big rain here a couple of hours before the game. We were wondering whether it was going to hold out, whether it was going to continue. It obviously dried up for the start of the game, but we have seen wet conditions coming from 2 ex-players. How long does it kind of take for the G to dry out and for these conditions to be more favourable for the players?
Yeah, it's not unusual to play in these types of games here where it's just, sort of dewy and overcast and a bit of rain, and it is slippery, but to be honest, and I don't know whether we just, now that we sit up here, it looks harder, Daisy, but we're hearing that there's these yellow balls have changed their lacquer. There are players that are saying these yellow balls in the last couple of years have become a cake of soap. And it does look that way to us, doesn't it? There looks to be a lot more fumbling than there was. I'm not sure whether there's any truth to that. We've tried to find out. I think we've asked BT before if you can look into it, but it has been quite slippery and greasy, and it's been hard to get any clean ball movement.
Daisy, 138 games for you here at the G. Did you like the wet conditions?
I used to like the wet conditions. There was the old adage that the more it rained, it brought everyone back down to a level playing field. But I thought it was clearly the opposite. I believe that if you do have clean ball handling and you've got an ability to take the ball clean and not fumble, it really separates the better players from the pack. And no doubt if this continues to happen, you start to look for those sort of types, like a Cozzy Pickett who can pick it up cleanly. Petrarca in traffic's been really good. Oliver as well, and up the other end of Jack Martin, someone who can really take the ball cleanly, and it separates. And when you're watching it live, you can really see how that separates the better players from everyone else in and around it. A little bit of rain starting to fall now, so no doubt it will continue to be that way. Time over the footy, watching it in, and just keeping it nice and simple is the key to it.
Heath, Choice Hotels around the grounds. Whatever your reason for travelling, you get the lowest price guareed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead, book it. The Western Derby.
Yes, right now, quarter time. Freo bounced back a little bit, 4-4-28 at quarter time. West Coast 2-2-14. Couple of movements on the live ladder as well. Carlton right now 5th. unlikely, but still now possible if they win this game, if they go on to win this game with their 2-point lead, and Melbourne or Port Adelaide lose their remaining games, it keeps Carlton alive and will put them in the top 4. So they need to win every game. Melbourne or Port Adelaide need to lose every game. And Sydney have jumped to 6th as well with their win earlier today.
Nice. And a big injury to Jack Gunston, I hear, in that game between the Brisbane Lions, a knee injury between the Lions and the Crows.
Yeah, he's had an interrupted year as well. Did his ankle early in the year, so we'll keep a close eye on that one.
Live here at the Triple M CG, it's Carlton 3-5-23, leading the Demons 3-3-21. Daisy Thomas, Joe Montagna in the house. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade. Get in, get out, get on with it at Mitre 10 Trade.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Win a super VIP experience with Shell. You could be watching the 2023 Toyota AFL Grand Final from the Shell V-Power Superbox.
Unbelievable, Hev. There are 7 double passes to be won. To enter, spend $20 or more on eligible products at Shell and Shell Coles Express and keep your receipt.
Should do more of that. Then visit shell.com.au/Superbox.
Terms and conditions do apply, Hev. Visit the website for details. AFL authorised Grand Final promotion code GFAFL 23/55.
Triple M has always and will always play the best music.
Love the music. It's everything I grew up with. It's fantastic. You know, Chisel, Pearl Jam, all that 80s and 90s rock. I'm trying to teach my kids about. It's really good. Every time I hear Poison, open up and say, it was the first CD I ever got. It takes me back.
Good times and rock's greatest hits.
This is Melbourne's 105.1. Triple M.
That's bloody awesome.
When you're hungry for something different, book it. When your team is playing, book it. When the music has started, book it. Whatever your reason for travelling, Choice Hotels have over 170 locations across Australia and New Zealand ready and waiting. And you'll get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead, book it with Choice Hotels. Terms and conditions apply.
Whenever we get stuck and need quality timber or decking real quick on site, we turn to the Robot.
Robot's got it.
Robot Building Supplies always helps us get the job done.
You can rely on Robot Building Supplies day in, day out. Right now, 90 by 35 MGP 10 pine is only $4.72 per metre.
Discount for quantity.
Robot's been in the building game for over 70 years.
They've seen it all and know it all.
Robot Building Supplies, Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham.
ROBOT Robot Building Supplies.
What is it about our firsts? First car? First kiss? First time? First accounting software? Let's be honest, your first is never your best. At QuickBooks, we got you. Snap your receipts as you go, so you're always ready for tax time. And you'll never be lost with our award-winning customer support. Don't stay stuck on your first. Search for QuickBooks and make the switch today.
Do your Coles shopping on DoorDash and pay the same price as in-store. From grocery top-ups to stocking the pantry or planning your weekly meals, shop Coles at in-store prices and get it delivered in 45 minutes on DoorDash. Plus, if an item you order is out of stock, your Dasher will message you while shopping, keeping you in control with no surprises. DoorDash, more to your door than you think. Based on average delivery times. Delivery times not guaranteed. Delivery and service fees apply.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery.
Take me now, hot, cool man. Take me now, Sexyland.
Sexyland.com.au.
From the award-winning producers of Big Little Lies comes an adaptation of the best-selling Australian novel, The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, now streaming on Prime Video.
You lied to us. How could you?
A gripping mystery with secrets within secrets.
What the hell happened out there?
Asha Keddy, Leah Purcell, Alicia Debnam-Carey and Sigourney Weaver.
I promise don't keep her safe.
The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, streaming now on Prime Video with new episodes Fridays. Start your 30-day free trial today.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
this quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
It's half-time at the MCG. The Blues 3-5-23 leading Melbourne at 3-3-21. Low-scoring affair. That's the half-time break for Mitre 10 Trade. Get in, get out and get on with it at Mitre 10 Trade. Tim Solly, Lee Montagna, Dale Thomas, Ethan Meldrum, Mickey Roberts and Jack Heverin, your Saturday night call team. Choice hotels around the grounds, Ethan Meldrum. Whatever your reason for travelling, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead and book it. Just take us through what's happened earlier today and what's going on right now.
Early today, Essendon 8 points over North Melbourne. Tight clash that one. Sydney 24 points over Gold Coast. So they're now 6th on the ladder. Sydney won 6 and drawn 1 of their last 8 games, which is pretty incredible. Brisbane 6 points over Adelaide. Tight game, that one. Fremantle kicked the last 5 goals of the game in the Western Derby over the Eagles. So 5-5-35. Fremantle 2-2-14 the Eagles, early stages second quarter.
What does that do to the ladder as it stands right now?
So right now, Melbourne at this stage trailing. They can drop back to 4th spot, of course, with Port Adelaide in 4th to play tomorrow. Brisbane locked in 2nd, Collingwood locked in 1st. Carlton at the moment 5th with a win and better percentage than Sydney in 6th. Dogs 7th, St Kilda 8th, Giants 9th, all to play tomorrow, all on the same points, all on 44 points. Essendon 10th at the 10th at the moment as well with their win earlier today. So real tight finish. Every single game matters at the moment.
Bombers win today, Joey, but they're going to find it pretty hard to make it from here, aren't they?
I think so, yeah. I think the Bombers still will struggle. Didn't get the percentage kick they needed. And even if they win their last 2 games, I would think other teams would go past them still.
Mickey Roberts, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, still greasy down here. I know you guys were talking at half-time about the ball and how greasy and the wet conditions and the hour and a half of rain we had before the buzzer. So hopefully it dries out in this second half. I just looked at the radar. There's nothing coming, so that's a good sign. The other one is the warm-up crowd. Now that first half's done and the Matildas have knocked over France, they've come out of the bars. Seriously, it's swell, big time. I cannot tell you how many people were in the bars drinking pots, just uing up, like unbelievable. And now they're out in the crowd, ready to enjoy a second half of footy. Well done, Matildas.
Just uing it up. Beacon Trader here to partner with your business to make every tradie's job easier. We've got a massive range of lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home and all at trade exclusive prices. Join Beacon Trade. Let's make light work. 2-point ball game. Second half about to get underway. Here's Tim Solly on Triple M Footy.
McDonald's and Room Hot Water. Triple M Rocks Footy. Ball up and down. De Koning with a tap down. Cripps back towards De Koning. Caught him a bit unawares. Now at ground level. Hewitt well bumped off by Viney. Tried to sink the slipper in. Did well Cozzy. And then Gorn dropped the ball in the tackle. Free kick Fogarty. Right next to the centre circle. Winds up. He sends the kick long and deep inside 50. Ball falls down to the ground level. Swooping on it, Dowell. He's claimed by Oliver. Wrapped up. And Razor says, give it to me. 30 metres out from the punt road end goal. Attacking end for Carlton.
He threw it up quickly as well. De Koning jumps high. Martin fired a quick handball out. Now Hewitt turns around about 45 out from goal. Back to Dow and back to Chincotta. Kicks from a standing start towards goal and it's off hands. And worked through for a rush behind. A minute in. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. 3-point game in favour of the Blues.
Stevie May.
Stevie goes straight down the middle again, as he's tended to do in recent weeks. Try and get some territory. Get it out of their defensive 50.
Wipes his hands on his strides. And then he sinks the left boot into it out in the Gorn direction. It's a free kick against Grundy. It's going to go the way of Wiedering. He's right on the Toyota logo. Broadcast wing. He wheels and goes now. And he sends a long, deep ball inside 50, floating across from the side. Good mark, Rivers. Steady things here. He looks out to the Shane Warne stand and sends the kick in that direction.
Interesting kick, but Bowie was, Van Rooyen, I should say, was up to the challenge. He marks it halfback. He's got Neil Bullen, who's run hard to receive.
Stand.
Kicked 3 last week against North Melbourne. Turns around and drills a pass to half forward, but Dow comes in front of Brayshaw and intercepts at centre half back. Wasn't sure what to do, so gave a handball to Martin. Now Cripps next to the centre circle has Fogarty, and he links up once again with Dow.
Dow from the centre circle sends it up to the 50. Curnow was taken off it by May. Professionally done in the end, one would think.
Yeah, definite free kick. We know he gets a lot of free kicks, Charlie Curnow, but most of them are warranted.
Just felt like he knew what he was doing there, mate. Just bought his team some time to leak back. There's Curnow off a couple of steps. Measures the ball to the top of the square. Ball off hands. At the spill, Oliver, claimed by Cripps. And he threw it up with the one hand. The tackle by the captain. And he'll go back for a set shot directly in front, 15 out.
Doesn't miss a lot, Razor. I reckon Clayton Oliver's done that probably 460 times in his career without being penalised too often. We'll just get a good look at it when we can in the Harvey Norman replay. They're showing the build-up of the Blues ball movement. Paddy Dow getting involved a couple of times, but we take a look here. Yeah, that's a good call. Paddy Cripps able to grab the arm as he went to handball it. So definite throw.
Harvey Norman Epic audio sale. Huge deal on earbuds, headphones, smart speakers and more now at Harvey Norman. As Cripps lopes his way in, city end of the ground. Starts at left and squeezes it home. He gets his first for the night. Cripps. And the Blues kick away 4-6-30. The Demons 3-3-21. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, it's really more of the same after the half-time break. Blues dominating field position, dominating territory, getting the ball played well and truly in their half, but this time some reward for effort in an unconventional way, fighting and scrapping on the goal line. Well done to Razor Ray. That was a red-hot call. Saw that Paddy Cripps had just taken the hand as Oliver was about to handball it off. Clear throw, and the skipper goes back, just snuck it through. Looked like he may have tugged it for a minute there, but got the job done. Good reward for effort for the Blues.
They kicked the first goal of the third quarter. A 7-game winning streak for Michael Voss's men. Midway through the season, they were putting the memberships in the microwave, and Lygon Street was riding. Things are looking pretty good at the moment for them. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. De Koning's tap down was nice to Hewitt, but he couldn't find a way out. Tackled by Viney.
Tom and Max, come out behind you, fellas.
Ray Chamberlain throws it up. De Koning out, points gone. Hewitt's kick smothered. Next to the centre circle. De Koning's pick up off the ground was okay. Kicked it into the back of Cunningham, who lays a tackle on Hunter. Ball jars free. Dow at half forward. Might have thrown it. That time umpire says play on. Cripps' hands were fast and so were Hewitt's. Gave it to De Koning and then his handball on the bounce did Hollands no favours. He's tackled by Tom Sparrow at centre-half back.
Contested footy in this third quarter, 8-1, the Blues favour.
Gone down, Hunter. Handball Salem. Quick one to Lever. Standing start. He sends a high, tumbling ball forward. Ben Royan got 1 minute and then it's thrown out almost by Fisher. Cripps again. A right football up to the 50. Curnow out of position, got the spoil in. Little toe poke from Hunter was good, and then May handballs towards Neil Bullen and out of bounds.
He did well, Charlie Curnow, then 2v1, just had to compete, bring it to ground. And that's what he was able to do, lock it in their forward half. 40 inside 50s to 17 now in favour of the Blues.
So ball back in, Gorn and De Koning. Hunter getting busy at the start of this third. He just pumps the ball forward. Van Rooyen there, competing hard as always against Kemp. And out of bounds, true centre wing broadcast side. 5.5 gone, third term. Carlton 30, leading the Demons 21. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Beacon Trade here to partner with your business by designing your lighting and electrical plans for free. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
It's a big push from De Koning.
Free kick, Melbourne. Advantage.
Ray wasn't going to miss that one. An advantage paid. Brayshaw from the wing. Kicks to centre-half forward. Mark was dropped. Pickett went without it. Brody Kemp picks it up.
Not 15!
Sard's kick went straight up in the air. Clever tap down from Fisher. Handball from Hollands, though, was intercepted by Petrarca. Hewitt, time, space. Kicked it as far as he possibly could. Oh, he's in a one-on-one with Lever. Tap forward by Lever. Langdon picks it up. Didn't blaze away and looked short into the pocket. Finds Chandler.
3 metres.
They look dangerous, Melbourne Smalls. Chandler, Pickett, Petrarca down there, Neil Bullen, Melksham. They're lively when it's on ground level inside their forward 50, so Blues defenders have got to be right onto it.
Kicked 3 goals last week against North Melbourne. Every time this year he's kicked 3 goals in a game. Melbourne have won. This for his second.
No.
He hits it a bit narrow.
Stop flapping your arms around.
For 6:30, the Blues, the Demons, 3-4-22, Triple M, Beacon Trade scoreboard. We've been going 7 minutes in this third quarter.
It's all well and good for the Blues half-backs to be racking up some big numbers, but they need to start defending. It's the smalls, as you said, Joey. When the ball's in transition, the Melbourne forwards are having so much space to work into. The talls are doing their job, locking away, locking down, but the smalls need to get arm across, defend first.
Daisy Thomas in the back row with Lee Montagna and the Triple M C-Bus Supers. C-Bus Super making hard work pay off as Oliver now from 70 out puts it in the Petrarca direction. Over the top Melksham. Then again at ground level Viney. Shoveled it up though, only as far as Hewitt. He works his way out wide to the cheers of the fans. And he finds his captain again in Cripps. The outright fifth for most games as Carlton captain tonight. Having drawn level last week with Chris Judd.
Play on.
They'll build from half back. Low and flat. Off hands, Doherty. Hemmel's up Hewitt. He just snaps without looking, and it's going to work out to Curnow, 70 from home.
And he's a big kick of the footy, and you can see that Owies was charging towards goal. The kick from Charlie was unbelievable. Owies walks it into goal. Transition footy at its absolute best from the Blues. 5-6-36, plays 3-4-22. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, he's taken over from Bud as the most dangerous kick, isn't he, Daisy? When he gets it sort of that 50 to 70 metre range, the way that he wheels and can penetrate and find a target, it's very much like Buddy Franklin in the prime of his career. It was just as dangerous when he was passing it off as he was from, launching, and he's done it so many times in recent weeks now. Charlie Curnow, beautiful kick.
Little Matty Owies been the beneficiary a lot of the time too, so him sensing that Charles is going to take the big clunk, but it's the penetration. That's what does the defender. It's only a 3 metre gap that they can't close. Any sort of hang time on it. Literally off a step. Shapes up, left shoulder at the target. Draws it round. It's a thing of beauty to watch.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Cripps going again. They've got a little break here. Carlton are lead by 14. He's on the outer wing, Chandler. Loops one over the top, Sparrow. He sizes up the big sticks. Talk about running back with a flight. Cozzy didn't need to take it as it bounces through for a goal. The instant reply for the D's. And all of a sudden, we've got a couple of goals on the bounce. Carlton 5-6-36, Melbourne 4-4-28. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Instant reply comes for the D's. A little bit of luck. Ball bobbling around in the midfield. Came out to Chandler. He was clean, though. That's the difference. Just got to be clean time over the footy. Picking it up cleanly, forced the Carlton defender to press. A zigzag it was on the Harvey Norman replay. And then the spread from that centre clearance with Sparrow. A really nice finish. You had Cozzy running back towards goal, as you called, Timmy. Cozzy did the selfless thing, put a shepherd on.
Robbo, Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, Brody Kemp took himself off the ground. Actually, with the blood rule, bleeding from the head, had blood all over his hands when he stuck his hand through his head. So he's off the ground. A head clash with Van Rooyen. He'll be okay.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, Gorn down to Petrarca and then Oliver. Quick centre clearance from Melbourne, but a shallow entry, and Blake Acres can change direction. Looks to the outer side. That kick's safe and it's okay. And Hollands links up with Fogarty as he dashes down the outer side wing. Pokes a high ball for Curnow. Marks in front of mate. 60 metres out. He turns and goes. Punches a low flat ball to Koenig playing from the back. Couldn't mark. Gorn took a while, bending down, trying to pick it up. Couldn't gather out either. Bowie went without it. Doherty picks it up. Goal. Blues get it back out to 14 points. Midway through this third term of the MCG, they're 6-6-42. Melbourne 4-4-28. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Just a couple of fumbles was costly in your defensive 50. If they keep putting pressure on the Blues and keep getting an inside 50, those sorts of things can happen. They can win some free kicks. They can force some errors. It was Gorn the first time, which you can understand, trying to get a front square. Big Gorney, but then Jake Bowie, that's got to be his bread and butter. We spoke about it at half-time. They're going to be crucial balls, Dale. We spoke about it, and that's the difference sometimes in a game of footy.
Not only did he have the fumble, he went to ground as well. That's the other key. Doherty, he was pursuing, kept his feet, stayed in the contest. Big Maxi, though. It's quite funny watching him bend down, try and pick that up 3 times. Couldn't access it.
Mickey Roberts, Bob Jane teammates. We'll get back to you in a sec, Robbos. We're back in the middle for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Cripps there, extracting it Dow. Coming of age before our eyes. He gets it to half forward. Always leads the race. He's worked off it by Lever. Had to keep his feet. Lever, Salem, quick little handball. Set up Smith as they retreat. Oliver, Salem. He's like a hot potato. He's throwing it around everywhere. And Hunter, in the end, pushed in the back across the line. Free kick.
Right, back here.
So he has it at left half back here, Lockie Hunter, the ex-dog. He's tucked in on the fence. Decides to drive it long and deep down the line. Wiedering there with Van Rooyen, off hands. Van Rooyen collects. He's tackled by Wiedering. Dow mops up. He's claimed as well. Then Cripps couldn't stick the tackle on Hunter. Little 1-2 with Neil Bullen. And then he goes back to Salem. A couple of little tiptoe steps and he goes down the line. He's coughed it up. Into the hands of Newman. Possession number?
Possession number 20. This is for Nick Newman. Only George Hewitt has more on the ground.
Ethan Meldrum, all the Reds Head lenders.
He's making a sneaky charge for the All-Australian squad, Nick Newman.
Massive second half of the season. He kicks to half forward. Doherty rode the pack, gave it to Martin, who had his back to goal. Now back to Doherty. Right forward pocket, was pushed as he kicked. And Melbourne work it through for another throw in. They are under the pump right now, the Demons. The Blues 6-6. Leading Melbourne 4-4. Mickey Roberts, Bob Jane teammates.
Yeah, a little bit more drizzle, though, so haven't got sure hands like Daisy, but there'll be some more fumbles, that's for sure.
I was a very good wet weather player, Robbo. Long sleeve on for warmth, didn't fumble.
Brayshaw and Rivers under siege. Martin just almost pushes him across the line right next to the behind post.
Got robbed of goal of the year here one day in the pissing down rain, Timmy, against your Saints.
Yes.
Boundary umpire said I was out of bounds because I walked through two of them.
Yep, City.
Slid it through. Was in by about 3.5 metres.
Ball down, Grundy. Rivers, those quick hands up to Salem. He sends a high ball outside the 50. Van Rooyen there off hands. Marchbank at the back and almost content to just paddle it across. We'll have a boundary throw in. Right half forward here. City end of the ground for the Blues. 14-minute mark. It's Carlton 6-6-42. The Demons 4-4-28.
Wasn't the same umpire you sprayed, was it, Daisy?
No, I think he would have been in nappies when that happened.
There's Oliver from centre half back. Risky kick into the middle. Chandler did well, stood up and got on the second bite. Jordan lays off a handball to Langdon, who goes dashing through the middle. Great kick for Melksham, who did everything but hang on to the mark. Now he has to think his way through. Tucked away in the right forward pocket. Squares it up, Van Rooyen marks. Hits the ground, Petrarca off the ground, kicks the goal. All's well that ends well for the D's. And they get the response that they were after as well. Back to an 8-point game. 5-4 plays 6-6. Triple M, Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, just as we pumped up Nick Newman, watching that ball transition out onto the wing, Newman left Petrarca to try and charge over and affect it, even though he was never going to get there, Timmy. He was never going to get there and impact the play. He left Petrarca. It gave Melbourne an outnumber inside 50. Brody Kemp was trying to scramble and they almost did a good job, but in the end, there bobs up Petrarca in the goal square all on his own. So when this kick goes out to Chandler, who wins the ball and gives a handball to Jordan and then off to Ed Langdon, it was Newman who tried to come across and not really affected at all, and they were good enough, Melbourne, to find the spare player.
And you get away with that against the lesser sides because the skill doesn't hit. But both of those, the handballs hit, lace out. The kick to Melksham was fantastic. You've got to make better decisions when you are starting as a defender. Defend first.
Grundy arches his back for the middle. McDonald's in Ram hot water. He gave it off to Sparrow, who was immediately met heavily in the tackle. Hewitt, Dow, handballs Newman. A left foot torpedo punt to half forward. Worked under the pill. Did well there, mate. Just got Curnow out of the way and then darts a little short one and finds Brayshaw at right half back. He nurses another short one to Sparrow and then drives back by Brayshaw and spears one of the chest to Neil Bullen. He's driving by again. He ignores that and goes to the 50 and finds Petrarca. Wheels and goes, punches a low flat one on his knees, Wiedering. Bobs back up and then a wobbly ball back outside the 50. Ground level Brayshaw. Got it out the back. Lever takes the game on. His handball wide, misses the target. And out of bounds, right half forward for Melbourne. Much to the jeers of the Carlton faithful.
Brody, Mark.
Carlton 42, leading Melbourne 34. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Beacon Trade here to partner with your business by designing your lighting and electrical plans for free. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
From the throw-in, Oliver boots a ball that spirals the best part of 40 metres inside Melbourne's forward 50. Dangerous area too. Grundy pushing the back. Umpire says no. And Oliver, Pickett and Grundy lay the tackle. And Sam Doherty. The lead is 8 points to Carlton. The biggest lead in the game at any stage has been 14 of the Blues. It shows you just how tight things have been tonight as Doherty kicks clear a defensive 50. Oh, his pick-up was nice, and Fogarty did well. Arches the back, gets rid of the tackle, and then kicks to the wing.
Going back to the flight, Bowie. Defensive marks. Looks like we're about to get a substitute action. We'll head down to you in a minute, Robbo. Bowie. True centre wing on the far side. He pumps it up. The big fly came over the top. Van Rooyen. Ground level Marchbank. Dropped it in the tackle. Now the numbers here with Melbourne. Van Rooyen out wide for Rivers. High ball to the top of the square. Melksham there, so too Wiedering. Ball hits the deck. Oh, Cozzy was hitting it at pace. Left it behind. Cottrell doubles back. Cozzy wraps him up. The umpire pays the benefit of the doubt. Ball up top of the square. Punt road ends. Bob James team asks Robbo.
James Jordan now, number 23. I can't see any ice or anything, but he's sitting in the back stalls. That means the pig-headed, he gets a chance now to have a real crack in those wet conditions.
Pig-headed. Oh, I don't know, we need to talk about his character. I always found Hibbo to be a good bloke, but there you go. Van Rooyen spinning in front of goal, tackle.
Holding the ball.
That's holding the ball.
Carlton.
It'll be a Blues free kick. He'll have to come back to fullback.
Is it the pig-headed or the pig-headed?
The pig-headed, I think he was going with.
Yeah.
That's what it...
Come on, stand.
Either way. Always a good fella, and I certainly wouldn't argue with Hibbo, so he can be whatever he wants to be. Sard from centre-half back, drives along the wing.
Up to the outer wing, Cunningham flies and he spoils. High fives for him, Grundy and Lever. So what are the coaches looking at now, Daisy, Joey? What kind of levers can you pull in these conditions?
No, I think both coaches will be sort of happy with this arm wrestle. It's the way they like to play. They'll be both pretty sort of content, I think, with where the game's at. Melbourne would like to win a little bit more contested ball. Carlton have been able to get on top in that facet this quarter.
Salem, here's Oliver. We're hoping he builds into this match. He got one forward about 20, only as far as Acres. He dances around Chandler and then took way too long. Pickett arrived on the scene and lays the big tackle. He looks up now to the open side. Brayshaw getting back. The ball came there from Pitnet, coming through Petrarca, and shovels it up to Langdon, who sends it into the pocket. And a man all on his lonesome, Neil Bullen, takes a metre in from the boundary.
Well, I'm not sure how many times we can implore the Blues to go and defend in their back line. The turnover did ensue.
Alex, 2 metres
I do understand that. They would have been breaking, thinking Acres was going to kick it.
Alex!
But it wasn't exactly a quick ball coming in, and Neil Bullen all on his own. Nobody swivelling ahead, nobody handing over. Simply not good enough.
17 goals, 8. He's tucked into the pocket. He's going to go the drop punt. Oh, my word.
All clear.
He has sliced the middle of the ideal. He's got his first for the night, Neil Bullen. And all of a sudden the margin back to 2 points at the Triple MCG.
That's why they're a good side, Melbourne. They take their opportunities. The move that Cozzy Pickett's been in this quarter, trying to hit bodies, get after them, makes a big difference. We've already spoken a lot about Melbourne's small forwards and the impact that they are having on this game. They've been the ones, really. The midfield, I wouldn't say are dominating at all by any stretch. I mean, Viney's had a pretty good game, but, you know, Oliver working into it, Viney, Brayshaw, etc., but they've been getting done in around the contested ball. It's the small forwards from Melbourne and a beautiful finish from Neil Bullen, who's really at the scoreboard in recent weeks.
And Michael Hibbert onto the ground. 2-point game at the MCG for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Top 4 spots up for grabs as we head towards September. De Koning got out the front door of the stoppage and streams forward. Bombs in the direction of Curnow, was bodied off nicely by May. Wins his one-on-one, and then his kick coming out of defensive 50, not too bad either. And Christian Salem has it. What is his numbers tonight? Christian Salem, Heath, Red Z Lending.
Yeah, leading ball winner for the D's. That's disposal number 19, 4 tackles, 4 clearances as well.
Red Z Lending, loans for the self-employed, redzed.com. Brayshaw, handballs to Viney, next to the boundary line, kick smothered. Off the boot of Brayshaw, ricochets back inboard. Motlop picked it up, but Brayshaw gets him straight away. It'll be thrown up, members wing.
I feel like the intensity of the D's has really lifted in this last 5 minutes. Hitting bodies, contest stuff, really hard, making those tackles count. They're not tickling anyone.
Tickly tackles. As he lays one of those, Hunter.
Simon Max.
Cunningham slow to get to his feet. Broadcast wing. Umpire Chamberlain throws it in the air. Oh, DeConing, clever. Athleticism. He bends one back to half forward. Off hands, Neil Bullen. Toe poked it out of the hands of Fisher. Went back and found it. And then he's wrapped up by Sard. Ground level. Sparrow smothered off his boot. And then Brayshaw did well. Lurking out the back with Salem as he fans it wide to Hunter.
Outside 5, Pat. Me.
He nurses one over the top. He's got Viney. So Hunter goes long and deep now up to the 50. Ball off hands of Van Rooyen. Front and centre there, Sparrow might have been claimed without it.
Melbourne, Sparrow.
You can hear the umpires exclusively, Mike, for Triple M. Sparrow with the free kick, 46 from home. So they've definitely gained the momentum here, Melbourne.
Yeah, started winning contested ball back early in the quarter. It was all the Blues. Melbourne have been able to get on top, and they've cracked up their pressure. 267 in the last 10 minutes, plus 8 contested ball. That's what's got them back in this game.
For his second for the term, and to get the D's back in front, he winds up from right on the perimeter, and it was always skinny to the near side. Minor score, 1 point ball game at the Triple MCG. Carlton 6-6-42. Melbourne 6-5-41.
Choice hotels around the grounds, Heath.
Yeah, I've got 2 notes here. One from Daisy saying that happened quickly, and one from Joey saying was 14-0. Freo kicked 10 goals in a row, nearly half-time, 10-8-68. West Coast 2-5-17.
Not a bad start from West Coast, but
it was 14 zip up. Yeah. Well, here we go. Since then, it's 68-3.
Max and Tom.
I think they'll be happy when this season finishes. Mind you, next year's not exactly looking promising at this stage, is it? And a 1 point game of the MCG. We've got the close one. Petrarca, lightning hands out of the stoppage, releases Viney from 55 metres out. Long searching ball. Marchbank got pushed into the contest and takes an important mark at fullback for the Blues.
Having a good patch here, the D's winning the territory battle, which they've been clearly beaten at all night. A chance to get some repeat entries here, put some scoreboard pressure back on the Blues.
Routing, please.
It's a bit of a wrestle at half forward between Cripps and Hunter, both claiming they were infringed. Well umpired in the end by Chamberlain. So the ball will spin back into play. DeConing against the more experienced Gawn. Gawn palms it back towards the line, and we'll do it all again from the same spot.
Same again.
25 gone, third term.
Hands off here, please.
Carlton 6-6-42, leading the Demons 6-5-41. Petrarca's kick 2 for the Demons. There's the ball back in. Gawn takes it out of the ruck, and then it ricochets out to Viney. He turns back into the traffic. Not sure why. Hunter taking to the turf. Doherty. Akers on the up for Fisher. Now here's some promise for Carlton as Hewitt wobbles one forward, but May read it. Diving, didn't take the mark, just knocks it forward for territory. Hewitt, his handball cut off by Salem. Out of bounds, true centre wing broadcast side. 1 point ball game to the favour of the Blues.
Tom, Max.
In his element, Georgie Hewitt, isn't he loving these conditions? Being dominant, Ethan.
Yeah, Red Z Landing, 25 disposals now, most on the ground, 16 of those contested. Next best for Carlton has 8.
Ethan Meldrum, Red Z Lending, loans for the self-employed. Alongside Joey Montagna and Daisy Thomas in the back row tonight for Seabus Super.
Play on, off then. Play on.
DeConing and Gawn fight for the footy on the wing. Big tackle by Max.
Great second effort from the big fella. Amazing.
He just got sat down by DeConing in that ruck contest as well, so you could see a little bit of the dent in the pride. He was out for revenge, got it on DeConing and then on Ollie Hollands as well.
It's been the ruck split, Ethan, when you get the chance between Grundy and Gawn. I don't think Grundy's done much centre bounce at all, really, but
No, Red Z lending stats. Max Gawn, 100% time on field. He's been in the ruck. Brody Grundy, 34% time in the ruck, 66% time forward. So Max Gawn, whenever he's been on the field, he's been in the ruck.
Yeah, so Grundy playing permanent. Basically, he's a permanent forward, just pinch hitting in the ruck.
How have you seen his game, Joey, Brody Grundy?
It's been tough with these conditions. He's actually competed okay, and he's not going to do too much damage in the greasy conditions.
Wiedering hasn't had a huge impact, which is a plus to Grundy.
It's all for Macca's. The Macca's cheesy range have a post-game stretch. March being pushed under the ball. Shane Warne stands side. Jack Martin plays the tackle on Trent Rivers. Umpire comes in and calls for it once again. 6-6 plays 6-5. 27 and a half minutes gone in this third term.
Sharon up in the night sky. Coning down. Cripps there with Petrarca. Two Rolls Royces toe-to-toe. And now Neil Bullen sends it to the 50. Camp out of position. Melksham couldn't stick it. Front centre was Brayshaw. He was taken down. Petrarca overruns it. Cottrell. A little toe poke forward. Head out the boundary for Bob Jane Seamarch, Robbo.
Yeah, Hibbard's, as we know, is subbed on from Melbourne. So Curnow has put the goo on his hands. He's unzipping his tracksuit top. What is only a couple of minutes before three-quarter time.
Oh, boy.
They may pull the switch here, I reckon.
Ooh, bit going on in that.
Bob Jane Seamarch got great buy. 3 get 1 free plus instant cashback deals.
So what Melbourne have done with Hibbard coming in, he's gone into defence and they've thrown Joel Smith to full forward, who's now playing on Jacob Wiedering.
Melbourne rush.
Just repeat, Jack, what Michael Roberts was saying about Kerner.
No.
Bit of goo and a zip.
Goo on the hands, unzipping the pants. Oh boy. It's a Koenig. Ruck's uncontested. Petrarca, let him take it. Dribbles.
All clear.
Just off to the right. Scores level. 42 apiece as we head towards three-quarter time. Triple M, Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Fisher now. Darts one out on the 45, only about 15 to Doherty. So 2.5 left in this third term. As Doherty is just going to bomb up. High, long one outside 50. May underneath with Curnow and gone. Knocked out of his hands. He's claiming the mark. He probably had a decent piece of it. As McVie is wrapped up in the tackle by Motlop. All up. Left half forward here for the Demons. Broadcast side. As the ball goes back up and down, Gawn. He is looking a little bit angrier. As De Koning just jams it on the boot. Curnow there, couldn't quite trap it. Lever, Salem, handballs out to May. Standing start, he pumps one down the line, and here he's gone. As he juggles the greasy peel, he's going to lope and go, the big man. And he hits the wrong side of the ball. He's almost got that one off the shin. And it tumbled end on end and out of bounds left forward pocket.
Max, went the drop punt, got the snap instead. De Koning goes down there.
Hold up, let's on.
It's been a pretty good battle, though. De Koning's held his own. Yeah, he's competing well.
Here they go again in the ruck contest. Gawn taps it down to Viney. Didn't make great contact. Pickett came crashing in. Smith bodied off. Viney again goes across the face of goal. It's out of bounds. Right forward pocket at the punt road end.
You up, Max?
42 apiece.
Tom.
A minute 30 remaining in this third term. In front of a big crowd tonight at the MCG. It was a bit slow to get going, but everyone was nestled in the bars in the first quarter watching the Matildas. Now they're out in the stands cheering on their team. Chincotta bends down to try and pick it up. Doherty does and gains about 20 metres with a kick. It's tapped on forward. Now at half forward for Melbourne. McVie handballs to Langdon. Kicks it to a dangerous area. Gawn in the vicinity, couldn't mark. Pickett trying to be dangerous. Quick hands to Neil Bullen. Back to Brayshaw, 45 out. Extra handball now to Bowie. Kicks a running banana that's going to fall short. And it's Cottrell who marks on the last line.
Out, Jacob, please.
One feels he might have gone the drop punt there instead of the check side.
Play on.
So right on the last line, Cottrell. A high penetrating kick. Bowie's parked underneath. He flies and back with the flight Hollands. Good competing out of bounds left half forward for Melbourne.
Carlton.
44 seconds left in this third term. Some of the Red Zeds eat.
Yeah, Red Zeds Melbourne cranking up their pressure in this third quarter. 211 their pressure factor. Carlton as well up above the 200s for the entire game. AFL average there is 180.
Red Z Lending, loans for the self-employed, REDZED.com.
It's time for Cripps. 30 seconds left. Kick's going to need to be good, and it is. Motlop marks it right half forward. He's got players running hard to find themselves in space. One of them, Cunningham, drops the mark, has to work back. Left foot ball was intercepted by Oliver, who saves the day for the D's with 15 seconds remaining.
Brilliant work right there from Neil Bullen. Put the head down, closed the gap, got a hand in, and then didn't give up on the tackle. Affected the kick, caused a turnover.
Ball down the line. Brayshaw at the spill. Got it up to Viney. Just tumbles one, only as far as Doherty, who traps it, gets it to Saad. And that'll be the last kick of the third quarter. There was a lot of hype going into this one. Carlton had won 7 in a row. The Demons 5 in a row. And at the last break, we're all tied up 42 apiece for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade. Beacon Trade's here to partner with your business with lighting and electrical products for every Aussie home. Beacon Trade, let's make light work.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Macca's Cheesy Range. Have a post-game stretch.
7 songs, $10,000. 1 winner.
The Marty Sheargold Show's 10K Spinner DJ.
Nick. Hello, Nick. Howdy. $10,000 on the table, Nick. Fingers crossed, mate. Go for it.
Let's do it. Who made who AC/DC?
Yeah! You've won 10 grand!
Marty Sheargold Show's 10K Spinner DJ. Another shot at starting your day with 10K. Monday morning at 7. Only on Melbourne's 105.1. Triple M.
Need a workplace safety management system? Identifiber. Doing some DIY or demolition work and worried about asbestos? Identifiber. OHS plans, air monitoring, contaminated land assessment. Identifiber, Identifiber, Identifiber. We're industry experts with over 30 years' experience in hazardous materials services, occupational hygiene and risk management. For a thorough assessment and inspection of your home or office, head to identifiber.com.au.
From the award-winning producers of Big Little Lies comes an adaptation of the best-selling Australian novel, The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, now streaming on Prime Video.
You lied to us. How could you?
A gripping mystery with secrets within secrets.
What the hell happened out there?
Asha Keddy, Leah Purcell, Alicia Debnam-Carey and Sigourney Weaver.
I promised I'd keep her safe.
The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, streaming now on Prime Video with new episodes Fridays. Start your 30-day free trial today.
Steel Solutions, Houston speaking.
Houston, we have a problem.
Okay, settle down. What's happened?
My wife's mother is coming and she wants me to fix the carport, side gate and put a retaining wall across the backyard.
Relax, mate. We've got all the steel you need and we'll even cut the steel to the lengths you want. You don't have to pay any extra and you can have it delivered or pick it up.
Houston, we don't have a problem anymore.
That's kind of why they call us Steel Solutions.
Steel Solutions. The steel you need when you need it. Sunshine, Bayswater and Springvale. SteelSolutions.com.au.
Kobe is a cheeky 9-year-old that loves bikes and fast cars. He has acute flaccid myelitis, which has meant long hospital stays away from his family. But Kobe and his family had time together thanks to his wish to live like his favourite YouTubers.
Kobe's wish came true when he stayed in a mansion, played laser tag and rode in a limo.
Helping sick kids find hope is something we all have the power to do.
Find out how at makeawish.org.au.
Make a wish.
Australia's biggest skills competition hits Melbourne. The World Skills Australia National Championships, August 17 to 19 at Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre. See the best young talent battle it out, from fashion to floristry, baking to bricklaying. There are over 55 skills in action with interactive activities. Plus, discover exciting career pathways at the Victorian Careers and Employment Expo. To register for free or for more info, see worldskills.org.au.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles checked and locked prices guaranteed to save you more than 20% below market prices every day of the year. Here's proof of another range. Revival handmade looking caustic tiles, best market price $49.95. National Tiles checked and locked price $39.95. That's 20% saving. No, not on special. That's 20% saving every day of the year. Only at National Tiles.
Shut up! The foot is on the radio!
Triple M
footy. This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Nothing separating the Blues and the Demons at three-quarter time of the MCG. 6-6 plays 6-6. It is set up for a massive finish for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. Ethan Meldrum, all the third quarter numbers, Red's Head Lending.
Yeah, better numbers for the Ds, leading contested ball, clearance, pressure factor over 200. Interestingly, Carlton haven't kicked a goal from stoppage tonight. They've been setting records in the last 7 weeks, plus 269 points from stoppage against their opposition in the last 7 weeks. That's an all-time record. Goalless from stoppage tonight, so all turnover, all kick in from Carlton. Leading players on the ground, George Hewitt, 25 touches, 16 contested. Nick Newman, Paddy Cripps, 21 disposals apiece, I should say. Jack Viney, 25. Salem and Brayshaw, 21 for the Ds.
For Bob Jones Team Arts, have a great buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cashback deals. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. Michael Roberts.
Yes, a big warm-up for Ed Curnow then. The tracksuit top did come off. Warming up big time. Just remember last week when he ran on against the Saints, played a big part in the sub. So expect that fairly early, I reckon, in this last term.
Joey Montagna, Daisy Thomas, the Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off.
Well, the next 30 minutes we'll find out exactly what the Blues are made of. If they are going to be a serious contender, currently in 5th on the ladder, this is a scalp you have to get. They're gone long enough for now, three-quarter time. They're getting just into the deep water, and Melbourne, we know how good they are. They'll see if you can swim right until the very end. So for the Blues, a big 30 minutes, a lot on the line for both of them.
All tied up here at Triple MCG. We're about to get the final term underway. Scoreboard this quarter by Titanium Caravans. They're built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au. Just quickly, Heath, choice hotels around the grounds, the Western Derby.
Yeah, Fremantle 51 points up at half-time, so I think those around the grounds will be less interesting than the Tillies in the first
And
quarter.
it's 1-1 England-Colombia at half-time. We will play the winner of that game in the semi-final. I think we'd all love to meet England in the semis.
Joey still pitching for a commentating gig alongside Simon Hill.
It's all for the sizzle reel.
The McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Let's get this final quarter underway as Pitnet wins the tap. Swooping on it was Cripps. He handballs in the direction of Dow. Collects on the bounce. Goes the inside-out check side to the 50. Cottrell there. Has to be clean. McVie on his hammer. Works him off the ball. And then Hollins. It's going to ricochet back in his hands. He dishes it out for Owies, who sized him up from 40. Unbelievable. Owies kicks his second. Running towards the boundary at the Punt Road end. They got the first goal of the final term, Carlton, and they lead by 6 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
That's some sort of goal, Daisy.
Absolutely. We've spoken about the importance of being clean. Just a little slap out from Ollie Hollins in his direction. But he's picked it up, sized them up, and completed that all within 2 steps. And I tell you what, if Tommy Batley's the greatest celebrator in the comp, he's being rivalled. He has done a 50-metre lap of the boundary, high-fiving people, may have stolen a child at one point. But that is a nice finish. Wait for this Sally.
Yeah, it's a good
Finger up.
celebration.
It was 15 metres from the fence when he started. So there's the child he took. Harvey Norman replay tells the story.
He was happy with it. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. The Blues have started well in this fourth quarter. Dow pops a handball over the top for Fogarty and centre half forward. Had to kick quickly. Curnow playing from the front. DeConing got there first. Marks 20 out directly in front to give them 2 in the first 2 minutes of the fourth quarter.
Ethan put the challenge out, said they hadn't scored from stoppage. So they're going to score 2 in a row.
Maybe.
Certainty. Put it in the book.
To the Punt Road end. The second biggest roar we've heard tonight. But it's a big one all the same. Carlton 8-6-54 have got the jump on Melbourne. 6-6-42, 2 minutes into the fourth quarter. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Started with the skipper, Paddy Cripps, doing what he does best. Winning that centre clearance, using his legs to drive out the forward handball. So not coming out the back or sideways, which is what allowed Fogarty to get that good look. And Tom De Koning, who we've praised in the ruck, thought he's been really competitive with Maxi Gawn starting out at full forward. Just got the jump on Jakey Lever, just slightly caught on the back foot.
Just can't concede an easy one now, the Blues. A really positive start for them. Just understand that a couple of minutes of territory, give yourself another look. Don't just cough one up straight away. But I tell you what, the fans have found some voice. They've come to life all of a sudden.
They sure have, Days. Goals have come at a premium. They've kicked the first two of this final term. For McDonald's and Ream Hotwater, we're back in the middle. Down, taken to the turf by Brayshaw. Fisher had it stripped by Sparrow. Ball bobbles around, then Sparrow goes back. He jams one inside 50, bounces over the head of Van Rooyen. Bodies crashing in. Smith couldn't quite grab the handle, and then Doherty, steady head, got it to Kemp, and he belts it out to the outer side.
Bit of holding going on before the footy arrived. Going to be against Bowie. Free kick will go to Matt Owies. 3.5 minutes gone in this fourth quarter. Owies pulls the kick, and Brayshaw got in front of Cripps and he's paid the mark. Carlton skipper not too happy.
Time back on, stand.
Angus Brayshaw, the 9 coaches' votes last week, 37 disposals, season high for him. Drives along the centre half forward. Van Rooyen playing from the back, palmed it down for Pickett. Handballs inside the centre square, 50-50 ball. Salem tapped it on and did just enough, but Carlton win it and bang it out to the wing.
Brayshaw again, though, against Cripps. The two sharpshooters, they go towards the boundary line, and he almost falls over his own feet, Brayshaw. Knocks it over the line, true centre wing, far side of the ground. We've certainly lifted here, the Carlton faithful. They're rising out of their seats, and they're searching for 8 in a row and a place in September. They've knocked off Collingwood, Port Adelaide, and now they want their head of Melbourne. As Fisher from the stoppage gets it about 20 metres. Ball in dispute. Knocked towards Carlton's goal. Martin couldn't quite gather. Viney. And now the cavalry arrive. Hunter back to Viney. He dropped it. Spent it before he had it, and then he was collected high. Got out of jail there, Viney.
Some of the advice coming over the fence, rather agricultural.
They're up and about, the Blue supporters.
It's a very pro-Carlton crowd. It is their home game. Their fans are making a stack of noise. De Koning gave a push. They're not going to like that one either. Advantage paid as Hunter handballs underground to Brayshaw. Shane Warne, stand wing. Long ball. Big climb over the back taken by Kemp. He's had a good night. And he can add that one to the highlight reel.
Oh, love to see that one again in the Harvey Norman. That was special.
Getting better week by week. He's Kemp down there. Can defend one-on-one, but adding that to your repertoire is pretty handy. That was a nice hanger.
Named in the under-22 All-Australian squad during the week.
Oh, yeah.
Jesse Motlop. So he's a young man. And watch here on the Harvey Norman, Dace.
Just a nice little knee on shoulder.
Harvey Norman, epic audio sale. Huge deals and earbuds, headphones, smart speakers and more now at Harvey Norman as the ball's back in. Sliding in again, Viney. He's going to lift his side as Fogarty cuts back inside to Cripps. A darting ball inside 50 finds Charlie. He kicked the first goal of the game for Carlton at the 16-minute mark, and he hasn't hit the scoreboard since this to get it out to a game-high 18.
Cripper again coming at the front of contest. He's lifting his side. This will bring the house down. The joint will go bonkers if he kicks this.
To the punt road end. He spins the ball in his hands. A hop and a skip. Gives it both barrels from 52. He's an absolute star. Charlie Cameron. Curnow. And it's a game-high 18 here at the Triple MCG.
We knew who you meant, Timmy.
Oh, no.
We knew who you meant, Big Charlie. And the crowd did go nuts. That was a beautiful kick. And all of a sudden, Ethan after you put it on for not being able to score goals from stoppage. What's that? 3 stoppage goals just alone in this quarter.
Yep, 3 goals from stoppage from the Blues. All 3 of their goals from stoppage. Scoreless from stoppage in the first 3 quarters. Of course, they've been the number 1 team in that category over the last 7 weeks.
Fourth quarter numbers, Heath. We've only been going 7 minutes, but what's going on?
Yeah, pretty one-sided in Carlton's favour. Clearances 4-1, disposals 24-11, pressure 208 for the Blues, 4-1 inside 50s. All Carlton at this stage.
As Timmy said, game-high lead right now for the Blues, and the right time to be doing it for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Tap down from Gawn was okay to Brayshaw. He won the clearance, but his kick going forward wasn't to the advantage of Pickett. And Chincotta, who's played his role again tonight.
Stay out, Jacob.
Marks in the back pocket for the Blues. He kicks to a pack on the wing. This Cripps again. He's everywhere, Joey.
Yeah, he's flexing his muscles.
Play on.
Driving ball down the line. Front spot Motlop. Spore came, McVie, and then Martin happy to see it over in front of the interchange bench.
Mark and Brody.
8.5 gone, final term. Carlton have kicked the first 3 of this final quarter. They lead by 18. 2 goals to Curnow, 2 goals to Owies. And on the other side of the ledger, Petrarca's got a couple. Ball in, Pittner to the front. Crashing in hard, Newman. Snaps around his right shoulder and puts it out of bounds.
2 more meters.
I will say, Melbourne won't go away. You know they won't. They are a strong fourth quarter team, have been for a number of years. They'll keep pressing.
Petrarca, long and strong. Van Rooyen competes well. On the bounce, Brayshaw knocked it out. Well done, Rivers. Got a Petrarca. His handball cut off by Saad. Now again at ground level, Rivers diving in on top. They park on top of him. Ooh, nervous moments, but the umpire pays the benefit of the doubt.
18-point lead. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. 9 minutes into the fourth quarter. The Blues have got the answers at the moment. Newman kicks around the corner, but Lever intercepts for the Demons. Time not a factor yet. As Joey said, Melbourne have won 15 of their 20 fourth quarters this year. They'll take it to the very end.
Outside 5. Outside 5. Outside 5.
Sparrow at right half forward. 2 kicks around from goal. Kicks it as far as he possibly can. Grundy in from the side, couldn't mark.
Oh.
Pickett snaps from the stoppage.
My word.
Brilliance. Sheer brilliance from Cozzy Pickett. A desperately needed goal for the Demons. Cozzy Pickett does it again. 7-6-48, plays 9-6-60. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
I'll pose the question to you, Joey. How?
Oh, that was so good. There's a big pack of players, about 30 out, and he's come through, hit it at full pelt, picked it up one-handed and thrown it on the boot before we could even see it. He's been in a mood. We've seen it, like the 7 tackles. He's been like lively and dangerous. It's obviously been a tough night to really have big numbers, so his numbers don't stand out, but what he's done's been class. And that is, something out of nothing.
He's bent it around the person trying to smother it. Harvey Norman replay.
In between 2 Carlton.
Marchbank diving across one leg, Saad coming the other. Picked it up, slammed it on the boot, straight through.
And he's fired up too.
That is huge. That's unbelievable.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy, game on. As the ball goes sideways, off the wing, Hollands immediately met heavily in the tackle by 3 Demons.
Max has gone forward here for you, Joey. Grundy into the ruck.
He's had a couple of good moments to start since he's come in there, Grundy, the last couple of centre bounces.
Cripps at the coalface. So too Sparrow. And then pickpocketed there by Hewitt. Did well. Got out of the back door for Newman, who spreads it wide. Not enough on the kick for Owies. Couldn't pick up off the laces. Lever back to Brayshaw. And he just sat up the kick for too long. Had to sit and wait, Langdon. And Newman knocks it out of bounds. Nick Newman's numbers again tonight, Heath.
Nick Newman, 25 touches, 10 intercepts, was the number 1 ranked player on the ground until Paddy Cripps overtook him in this last quarter. 27 touches, 6 alone in this quarter.
Triple M Red Z Lenders, loans for the self-employed, REDZED.com. Hewitt was excellent, absorbed the Grundy tackle and then kicks the ball to half forward. Curnow and May engage in a one-on-one. Curnow tried to tap it forward and Martin had it, but lost it momentarily. Langdon's kick forward was onto the chest of Pickett. They're starting to make some things happen for the D's. He marks on the wing. Kicks to Viney.
Stand.
Now he waits for his numbers to get forward. They trail by 12 points. Viney for Gawn. It'll fall just short. Gawn got hands on it. Sparrow thought about handballing it and changed his mind and got in the back. No free kick, out of bounds. 60 around from the D's goal.
Tom, Brody.
We've currently lost Robbo down on the boundary, but it looks like the Blues have made the sub. Doherty coming out of the game. Ed Curnow injected in.
So ball back in.
Play on.
Tap to the front. DeConing doing well, competing hard. Got slung to the turf afterwards by Grundy. He gained about 10 metres and he'll pick himself back up, dust himself off, and head straight back to another right contest.
I think it might be more of a management thing than anything. Just looking at him in the back row, he didn't look too concerned, so maybe that there might have been coming into the game with something. He is one of the older players on the team. Gives Ed Curnow a good chance to have an impact straight on ball.
DeConing with the tap down. Come from behind Rivers. He's rinsed around by Cunningham in the 360.
Off the ball, Melbourne free kick. Dangerous tackle.
For a dangerous
so the umpire off the play's called that, Dose.
He has.
So Rivers with the free kick. He thought about cutting inside, and then he goes around Hewitt on the mark. A high drop punt inside 50. Coming through with a big Louis Duke Smith. Almost out of position for a moment. Bumped, muscled his way to the front. And he'll go back for a set shot, tucked into the right forward pocket.
Well, he's capable of doing that. We know he can take a mark, Joel Smith. And as we said, he started in defence tonight when Michael Hibberd came on as the sub. He's moved to full forward. Hasn't had a big night, but that's a good mark. And it looks like he's going to go with the drop punt from this tough angle.
5 career goals. He's kicked 4 of those this year. This from the tightest of angles. Kick on its way.
Oh, wow.
Squeezes it through. High fives for Smith. The last 2 goals for the Demons. And all of a sudden back to 6 points at the Triple MCG.
Well, it becomes a big call in the end, that free kick. There's going to be a ball up in the wing half-forward area. The outer-zone umpire saying it was dangerous, 2 motion. Not completely sure I agree.
Ray Chamberlain was right there. He just called it a ball up.
Yeah, and I was pretty happy with that. There was no dumping motion. Yes, his leg did fly out late, but that's nothing to do with a dangerous tackle. While all that was going on, we're going to look at it here on the Harvey Norman.
Anything to worry about for David Cunningham?
No, I don't think so, but you can just see, again, a player looking like he's leant with his head to make it hit the ground, and then he's sort of made a noise or pulled a face. So maybe that's what the other umpire saw that Ray Chamberlain didn't.
A goal the difference for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy.
Play on.
D's have kicked the last 2 and are still well and truly in the hunt. Cottrell in pursuit, outer side wing, gave it back to Fisher. Stood up in a tackle, got boots a ball, and bounces to half forward. Rivers palms it down for Salem, and then a careful, measured kick for Viney. What's his night look like, Heath? Red Z Lending, Jack Viney?
Yeah, leading ball winner on the ground now. 29 disposals, 15 contested possessions.
Melksham at half forward. Got one hand on it. Van Rooyen got in the way. Petrarca worked his way through congestion. Now Oliver to Melksham. Had his kick smothered. Nice work from Chincotta. Tackle was laid by Sparrow. 60 out from the Demons' goal. Umpire comes in and says, give it to me, boys.
Gee, how quickly the momentum shifted, Jack. As soon as we said Melbourne are going to make a run, and they did it within 2.5 minutes. And now, even though they're trailing by a kick, they've got the momentum.
DeConing slaps boundary side. Petrarca there. Got it up for Oliver. Slipped on the kick. Body's piling up as the ball isn't kept inside the field of play. In front of the Shane Warne stand on the outer side. Left half forward for the Demons. They've gone in their shells a bit here, Joey, Dace, the Blues.
Oh, no, D's have just cranked it up like a good team.
I'm not 15.
And so is that man, Viney. Got it out, but only as far as Newman. On his left boot, down the line. Off the hands of Martin. Slap forward, Pig Hibbert. Hunter, twisting, turning. Snaps around his right shoulder down the line. Off the hands of Newman. And now Cottrell. Hard up on the boundary. Bumped on the kick. Got it down the line on good one-handed Mark Rivers.
Stay!
Talk about what's happened in the last 10 minutes, Ethan. What's Melbourne's pressure done?
Pressure factor for Melbourne in the last 10 minutes, 269. The AFL average there is 180.
We've got a finger in the eye, Rivers, but he's okay now. Kicks into the pocket. Smith palms it down. Neil Bullen running, dribbling across the face. 5-point game. 17 minutes gone. Alex Neil Bullen just missing. Robbo, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, Sam Doherty, as we know, is off. He came off with a little bit of pain on his face, but there's no ice or anything. Ed Curnow on, as we know, for the sub.
As McVee drives one to the top of the square, but Wiedering does what he always does. Takes a good intercept mark as he goes back outside 50 with the numbers. Newman. Got a bit of protection from Akers. He's taken it a left half back. He darts to that man Akers now. Maybe just slow this up a little bit. Play a bit of possession as he pumps a long drop punt down the line. Front spot Lever. Couldn't stick the mark. Fogarty off the deck. Dowell arrives. Good clean hands. Goes backwards to Newman. Non-preferred right. It's a worm burner. It's only just the 15 onto the chest of Sparrow.
His eyes are darting around here, Tom Sparrow. He's not sure whether to go lateral or to go forward in the end. Kicks as long as he possibly can to the wing. Pitnet dropped the mark. Hands from Chandler were good. Petrarca dangerous now as the ball rolls inside Melbourne's forward 50. Saad mops up to Akers. He kicks around his body. Oliver's there waiting for it. First game back. Couldn't shrug the tackle. Langdon against the boundary line. Tried to find Salem and couldn't. Tough footy to be won out there. Carlton free kick against Clayton Oliver. Paddy Dow putting his head in the hole.
He's been good, Paddy Dow. Shown a lot, and they're the moments. It's a 50-50 ball. He was the one. Head over it, hard, strong, drove the legs. Knew the contact was coming, but accepted it willingly.
And Dave, when you think about the players out of this side at the moment, Walsh, Chera, he's been the one that's been stepping up. It's Martin, back inside. Fogarty goes back again. There is Dow. High ball to half forward. Charlie Curnow in a one-on-one. Ball down. Lever. Handball's wide. Langdon. Bit of time and space to assess. And that's not his best effort. But the pressure came from Martin from the side. And he's put it out of bounds on the full.
Well, they're the little things that have turned Carlton into a wonderful side this year. The pressure from Jack Martin, the tackle before from Zach Fisher on Clayton Oliver when he tried to step around him. They're the little acts that are giving them these great opportunities.
Blues by 5 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. 7.5 minutes left at the MCG. It's been low scoring. It's been tight. It's been tough. Two teams that'll figure in September. Every contest matters. Cripps tackled by Neil Bullen. Players down everywhere from both teams. Umpire lets it go for as long as he possibly can.
It's hard and it's willing, but it's brilliant. Yeah. Both sides certainly up for it. Pressure off the charts last 5 minutes. Extra numbers in and around the footy. Contested balls where this one's going to be won.
9-6 plays 8-7. He's gone, smashes it towards the boundary line. And it'll be thrown in right next to the interchange bench. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. They're built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
Ball in. Pitnet and Gawn. The two first choice ruckmen knock it to the front. Brayshaw there, duck through the tackle. Oliver. Little 1-2 with Gawn. He looks into the spine and then he does a clever little kick to half forward off hands. Akers. Loopy handball set up Saad. Has to get boot to ball. Did well.
Did really well. This game has cranked up. The physicality in this game is off the charts. Even Paddy Cripps is getting hurt. It's that physical. He's sore right in front of Robbo.
He was in the hands of the trainers for a moment. And sneaking by him now, Newman. We got a bit angry there. Martin for a moment. And he lays the big tackle there on Langdon. Got the handball away in time. And then Oliver parks himself on top. Ball in. Left half forward for Carlton.
Straight up, let's go.
And lead by 5. Bob Jane Seamart's Robbo.
Yeah, Cripps couldn't even get involved then. Got smashed right in the rib cage, sucking the big ones in. This is really tough footy. Heard the smash from here.
Oliver from the stoppage kicks up to the wing. Kemp left his man, assessed the situation well. Now Dow's got a decision to make. From the wing, low and flat to half forward through the fingertips of Motlop. McVee stole it away. Cool under pressure. Salem not so much. Kick hung in the air for a long time. Pitnet at half forward, handball to Cripps. Little toe poke forward's okay. Martin got a push in the back. Umpire was 3 metres away and saw the contact. Harvey Norman replay will tell us the story. Jack Martin, 50 metres out from goal.
Back on.
Yeah, he was just bumped when he was standing waiting for the footy to come. McVee hip and shouldered him. Gawn did kick the ball away afterwards, but it's so loud here, they've given the benefit of the doubt to Gawn for not hearing the whistle. It looks like it's a free kick on the Harvey Norman.
Just here. Yeah, no worries.
Carlton lead by 5 points. 5.5 minutes left. The ball in the hands of Jack Martin. His 9th game of the season. It's no coincidence. Since he returned to the team, good things are happening. Gives it every chance. It's going to fall short to Koning. Kept it alive for Motlop. Couldn't get boot to ball. Melbourne resolute in defence here. Langdon against the back pocket. Uses the boundary line as his friend, and it'll be thrown in.
You could absolutely see this game, Daisy, being a prelim final, couldn't you? The way it's being played, it's played like a prelim. The physicality, how tense and tight and low scoring it is. This is why these are two of the best teams in the competition.
It's a ball in, deep in attack. Blues lurking. Throw a blanket over about 20. Then Martin there, he's held up in the tackle by Bowie. 20 metres out from goal.
I'm going out that way. Mark.
Big moments here. Can they sneak one, Carlton? Socket off the deck, Oliver back out to the 50. Sard opts to soccer off the deck. Sliding in through was always couldn't quite. And then Hewitt knocks it forward. Ball still to be won. Good contest, Fogarty. And now Akers emerges, smothered off his boot. Ricochets Chincotta, and now Wiedering looks out to the open side. He's got Curnow there. Oh, well done, getting back the Hibbard. The pig arrived on the scene and spoils it out of bounds. 30 around from Carlton's goal.
Well, Charlie Curnow had worked Stephen May off the ball. It was a massive one-on-one. He was going to take a chest mark, and then the pig came over the top with a terrific spoil and not to give away the free kick.
He saved the day. But they're not out of trouble yet, Melbourne. Martin around the stoppage. Handballs back to Hewitt. 45 out from goal. Kicks the ball into the pocket. Curnow and May once again. No mark taken. Fogarty went driving through. He couldn't gather the footy. Multiple Blues. Late tackles. And it'll be thrown up once again. Right forward pocket at the punt road end. 5 point lead to Carlton. Their 7-game winning streak on the line right now. Melbourne have won 5 of their own and their streak's up for grabs. McVee bodied over. Cottrell takes him to the line. And now it'll be thrown back in. 45 metres around from goal.
Just stacking up the efforts at the minute are the Blues. Contest by contest. A little bit of pressure here, a tackle there. Getting their opportunity, ball staying inside their forward 50.
Ball in, Cripps. Tunnel balled it. And then left it behind Hunter. Racer on the up. Oliver claimed. Got handed ball. Sard gets it to the captain Cripps. The handball out wide for Hewitt. But he tripped at the crucial moment and carried it out of bounds. 30 around from Carlton's goal.
So Melbourne have held their 6 forwards. They don't have anyone extra inside these defensive 50 stoppages. They're going to back their defenders and their mids to win it and kick it to equal numbers. Although the Blues have sent one behind the ball now.
It's Carlton by 5 points. They're in their attacking 50. Hunter, though, clears the area. But onto the lap of Sard. 80 metres from home. 3.5 left on the clock. He's going to send them back into attack.
This will go into the pocket.
Well, he's not in a rush, Adam Sard. That's exactly what he does. Into the pocket. To Koning almost from the back. Lever cleans it up for Melbourne. 3 minutes remaining. They trail by 5 points. Langdon with the exit kick from 50.
It's a great hard run from Sparrow, who was over at the stoppage on the other side of the MCG to provide an option for Langdon, who didn't have much ahead of the ball.
Now he's forced to kick to a contest. Wiedering playing from the front, couldn't mark Petrarca. Gains about 15 metres with a kick. Van Rooyen waits for it to sit. He's got a player over the top in Grundy. Tucked away in the right forward pocket. Gave a handball to Langdon. Tackled as soon as he got it. Grundy got it back to Van Rooyen. He was dragged down from behind. Desperate stuff from Chincotta. Throw in 50 out from goal.
Harvey Norman replay. Chance for a Trip, no, just body's going in. Body fell across the leg. Wasn't a deliberate trip.
Oh, seen him played before. 2.5 left in this one. It's a nail biter as Hewitt clears the area. Hibbard bounces up off his chest. The spoil came from Curnow. May mops up. Wide for McVee. Time and space just to compose himself. A little 1-2 here with Oliver, who works his way to half forward and pops it inside 50. Ball off hands. Newman at the spill. Tummels one to space. The only man home is Salem. Gives it everything he's got. And right on the last line, Blake Akers, the saviour, as he pumps it back outside 50.
It's off the hands of De Koning and it rolls out of bounds in front of tired players from both teams. Throw in. 1:55 remaining. It's the Blues by 5 points.
They've been in this situation a number of times in the last 18 months, 24 months. Can they finish it off? Find a way to get the job done.
Gawn tapped it out the back. Akers picks it up. Spun 360. Umpire said play on, and Fisher kicks towards the boundary line. This will be insufficient intent. Straight forward for the umpire. Stephen May to take it from the interchange bench. 1:43 remaining. Melbourne trail by 5 points.
May stabs a short one onto the chest of Brayshaw. Gives it back to May driving by. A long penetrating kick into the hot spot. Ball off hands. Front and centre Saad. That was clean. Snaps it around his shoulder. Brayshaw opts for the double fist spoil. At the spill again, Akers, as he sends one up the mine shaft into the spine. Ball off hands, and then Fogarty clamped. Well done, Sparrow. Locked that ball in. Ball up inside the centre square. 1:17 left on the clock.
Just got to keep their heads here, the Blues. Those kicks need to make sure they go boundary side rather than haphazard into the middle of the ground.
Langdon at centre half forward. Great tackle by Akers. Hasn't made a lot of effort to get rid of it. The umpire thought about it. Had the whistle to his mouth to pay holding the ball and didn't. Throws it up quickly again at centre half forward. Ed Curnow, the sub, with some fresh legs. Rolls the ball to his brother on the wing. Overruns it completely. Melbourne's chance now to reload. 55 seconds left.
Look at him dash away here. Rivers puts it to half forward and he finds Petrarca. He's got the leg from here. He winds up. He gives it every opportunity.
Hang on a minute.
Just hit pause for 1 moment. There will be a score review.
Umpire's call is touched, one behind.
And the umpire's soft call is touched.
Thanks, Matt.
As we head to the Triple M, Harvey Norman.
Well, if he's touched it there, Marchbank, he's an absolute genius. Back with the fly. Oh, I reckon you can see it touches his fingers.
Hard to tell from this angle.
Hard to tell.
Has it got a thumb? Perhaps the forearm.
That hasn't hit his hand on that angle, Daisy. The side angle shows that it missed his hand.
Does it hit his foot? Does it hit the pole?
There's 3 opportunities. There's the first hand, there's the second hand, and then there's also the tip of the boot. It's going to be a brave umpire upstairs to overturn this call.
Complete. Looking at these angles, there is insufficient evidence to determine if the ball is touched. Decision on scoreboard.
Huge.
Wow. So with 41 seconds on the clock, the goal umpire soft call was a touch. We went to the vision. The umpire upstairs has said umpire's call.
That didn't look like it was touched.
And they are absolutely steaming the Demons
Clearly belted over, Jerry. He clearly belted it.
4-point lead to Carlton. It's their game to protect now. Newman long out of defence. Pitnet dropped the footy. Big tackle by May. Ball out of bounds. Holding the ball. Maybe that's a square up. May to take the free kick. 25 seconds left. Kicks it to a dangerous area. Bodies fall down everywhere. Pickett lurking around. Carlton find a way out. Akers kicks it as far as he possibly can. Bounces end on end. Insufficient intent. One last chance for Melbourne.
He rolls the dice here, Lever. There's a pack of about 20. Think Leo Barry. Ball off hands. It's Hewitt. He gets it out the back door. They're going to win here, the Blues. They're going to win.
They're going to play in September for the first time in a decade as they claw home by 4 points.
Wins in a row. Well, if we need an exclamation mark that they're the real deal, that is it. That's the exclamation mark that they are in this season up to their eyeballs, and we called it. That was like a prelim final. You could easily play that again in about 6 weeks' time, 8 weeks' time, and it would be worthy of that sort of game. That's what was on the line. That's how they both played it. That was the brand of footy, the pressure, the contest. Everything about it was two of the best teams that we've seen this year playing in one of the best games we've seen for the year.
9-6, plays 8-8. Paddy Cripps talking to Cameron Lynn, courtesy of Channel 7.
That was just tough footy. I have so much respect for the way they played. It was going to be a physical game, and geez, it was a tough one to watch in terms of physicality and just finals like footy. So, mate, just great win for the boys. It was just hung tough there late.
How good was that moment when that crowd roared when the siren went? It was brilliant.
That was nearly as loud as when the Matildas won, mate. I've caught a time. You're sitting around, the whole stadium's cheering. That was pretty cool, but no, mate, the Carlton supporters, they're loud, they're passionate, and it's just nice to get on the run for them.
Just Caleb Marchbank's left hand there, got the finger on it. Did you think it was touch?
We're due for a bit of luck, I reckon, mate. Lost a few close ones last year, so yeah, look, just when you play the best sides, it's moments and fingernails in it. So yeah, it's a huge win.
Your ribs okay? I was worried about you at the end.
Yeah, I'm alright, mate. It'll be good now. We lost them, I do different, mate.
Oh, well done, mate. Great effort. Fantastic.
They just about jumped off in the middle part of the season, the Blues fans. They are on the bandwagon and there are no seats left. 8 wins in a row. Carlton to play September action, and they win tonight by 4 points. 9-6-60 to 8-8-56. We're back to wrap it up. We'll be in the rooms and we'll break down what has been another big game in the context of finals action. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Titanium Caravans. Titanium Caravans are built to tackle Australia's toughest conditions. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show.
Absolute classic, says Alexander.
Featuring Marty Sheargold.
Couldn't be steamier than my undies over the weekend.
It's a show for grown-ups.
Do you have a tiny digger?
A show that can get a little bit fruity.
But a lot of the stuff that comes out of my ass.
Kickstart your day with a laugh. Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. 6 to 9 weekdays on Triple M.
All right, let's keep moving.
Tonight, in Australia, 500,000 households will struggle to put dinner on the table. Foodbank works with the entire food and grocery industry to ensure no Aussie is left behind. Working in a surprise chain, we never know what donations we'll end up with. So to make sure we don't go without popular pantry staples like pasta and pasta sauce, we work with generous donors to make them. Want to help? Need help? Head to foodbank.org.au.
The ATO have been warning business owners about their tax debts, but now the warnings are over. Hi, Simone from Your Business Angels. If you have a tax debt, the ATO are coming for their money, and to get it, they'll take your credit rating, your business, even your home. For 28 years, Your Business Angels has been fighting for small business owners and winning. So before the ATO calls, call us on 1300 982 559. Your Business Angels. Repair the past, rescue the future.
Win a super VIP experience at the 2023 Toyota AFL Grand Final in the Shell V-Power Superbox. Visit shell.com.au/superbox for details. AFL authorised Grand Final promotion GF AFL 23/55.
Need a workplace safety management system? Identifiber. Doing some DIY or demolition work and worried about asbestos? Identifiber. OHS plans, air monitoring, contaminated land assessment. Identifiber, Identifiber, Identifiber. We're industry experts with over 30 years' experience in hazardous materials services, occupational hygiene and risk management. For a thorough assessment and inspection of your home or office, head to identifiber.com.au.
Watch the funniest couple on TV and their dog in the award-winning Aussie comedy Colin from Accounts on Binge. Boy meets girl. Girl flashes boy.
Oh my God, I hit a dog.
Oh my God. Stream it now on Binge.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles checked and locked prices guaranteed to save you more than 20% below market prices every day of the year. Here's proof of another range. Revival handmade looking caustic tiles, best market price $49.95. National Tiles checked and locked price $39.95. That's 20% saving. No, not on special. That's 20% saving every day of the year. Only at National Tiles.
Melbourne's best buys. All over it. For quality tools that go the distance, you can't go past Kango. Kango's bits, blades, trowels and discs are made to go longer and do the job better. Look for the Kango Yellow Target at Bunnings. Best buys. Experience the joy of a pizzeria at home with Dr. Ertka Ristorante Pizza. Deliciously thin and crispy Italian-inspired pizza. Dr. Ertka Ristorante. Taste like it does in an Italian restaurant. Melbourne's best buys. All over it.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy. The Triple M Footy Review. Amy. Submit your fan clanger story to amy.com.au/fansurance and you could win.
What a night we've had at the MCG. The Matildas win earlier in the night and then Carlton and Melbourne treat us to a thriller at the MCG. 9-6-60. Carlton beat Melbourne 8-8-56 and they make it 8 wins in a row. That's the Triple M Amy Review. Submit your fan clanger story to amy.com.au/fansurance and you could win. That's another big scalp for the Blues.
Absolutely, and you have to start to believe the biggest of naysayers have been waiting to see who they can beat. They obviously rolled the Pies a couple of weeks ago, but there was outs there and there was talk that they weren't at their best, but now they come up against a D side who were in white-hot form themselves, and the way that they did it tonight, you said it, Joey, like a prelim final, contested footy, they dominated territory, and in the end there, that stacking up of the efforts one after the other, just hanging on, finding a way, willing themselves to win. It's absolute brilliance for a side who 8 weeks ago was on the scrap heap. It was calling for jobs. It was calling for a new coach. They didn't know where to look. All of a sudden, they're playing finals. The season is alive, and they're probably one of 3 sides right now who is in red-hot form.
I'm emotionally exhausted, Jack. It's been some sort of night of sport.
Yep.
First the Matildas and then that game of footy. It's been wonderful. And the Blues, absolutely they can win it, Daisy. They are playing a style of footy that's going to stack up. We've said it for a number of weeks now. They've just got to do it the hard way from outside the top 4, but why not? Why not can't they do it? If they get, a scalp the first week, they should take care of. They're going to have to go into state the second week, which is going to be their biggest challenge. And then the way it might fall, they might end up back in MCG against Collingwood or Melbourne in a prelim, which the way they've played tonight, they could absolutely win it. So it's going to be fascinating to watch their ride and just watch how they build from here.
And have beaten them both in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Collingwood and Melbourne.
They've beaten Collingwood, Port Adelaide, Melbourne and St Kilda. They've taken some genuine scalps.
Don't worry about that bandwagon you're talking about either, Hev. Wait till you see the scenes here in the rooms. There will be half the crowd out there.
Backslappers everywhere.
The liniment sniffers will be out from everywhere. They're back, baby. The Blues are back.
Why don't we go down into the rooms? Mickey Roberts is there, and when he smells liniment, it does funny things to him. It fires him up, Robbo.
Oh, the Hawaiian oil with the coconut in it too, I tell you. Hey, are they going berserk down here as Cripper walks in? You can hear them. All the coaches and the players and the fans, they're up and about. The bandwagon. They'll bust the axles on the bandwagon, seriously. What a win. Controversy, 41 seconds. They've got home by 4 points. Sam Docherty's going to actually have a presentation for his 150th. So they'll sing the song. We'll have the presentation. I think we've got Charlie Curnow for an interview. But they're going to belt this out, and they deserve it. 8 straight wins. Why not? Sing about it. Here we go.
We're the hands up. Let them be playing against the famous Old Dark Blues.
That's good. That was sung with a bit of zest, wasn't it? And they get the applause. Aaron Hamill just walked past. I said, was that better than the St Kilda win? Because he said last week was better. And he said this is on par. So they're up and about, the Blue Baggers. The coaches are ticking boxes.
They're just going to have a quick presentation, as Robbo said, for Sam Docherty's 150th as a Blues player. This is the Triple M Amy review. Submit your fan clanger to amy.com.au/fansurance and you could win.
I know they knocked off the juggernaut that is St Kilda last week, Carlton.
This one just
I reckon this one's got to come just quietly, Timmy, eh? I know they're good, the Sainers, but geez, it was a great performance. And really, it was an even spread again. They didn't rely on Paddy Cripps or Charlie Curnow or Jacob Wiedering. You know, in the past, it's always been there. They've had to get their superstars to lift. They've actually done it with everyone contributing, Daisy, which is a big, big tick.
And the lesser likes are really playing and having some pivotal moments. You think of those moments with Martin, Fogarty, Owies as well down there. And then up the other end, you've got Kemp down there getting it done, evolving week by week. So it's plenty to like. Hewitt was absolutely enormous tonight. He was through that first half, 3 quarters especially, his numbers and his ability to win the contested footy, get the ball going forward. We knew the territory battle was going to be huge, and they dominated that for a large portion, the Blues. He was pivotal in that.
Walsh and Chera still to come back, and potentially Jack Silvani, if there's a spot. Is there
and
a
McGovern.
spot? And Mitch McGovern.
Yeah. So it's going to be hard now. They all walk-up starts, but I'll tell you what, the players, as Daisy said, the fringe players all put in good showings, so it's going to be tough for the coaching staff, but that's the problem you want to have coming into finals.
For the Blues, they've got the Gold Coast Suns next week at Heritage Bank Stadium, and then they play the last game of round 24 at 6:10 on Sunday against GWS. Now, if GWS keep winning the way that they're going as well, they'll be in the hunt for the finals, and depending on what happens with Port Adelaide and some other, there could still be a top 4 spot up for grabs for Carlton.
Potentially, yeah. Port Adelaide have got Giants tomorrow, so if they do lose that, it does keep the top 4 spot. It'll be more coming down for Carlton, probably about a home final, a home elimination final, or an away game is probably what it's going to mean if they do drop one against the Giants. Depending on some other results, maybe it is secured a 5th and 6th spot on the ladder, but it's going to come right down to that final game, and we wouldn't want it any other way.
Isn't that amazing that after round 14, 4 wins, sitting in the bottom 4, and we're sitting here with a couple of rounds left talking about them making the top 4.
They can win the flag, not make the top 4. They can win a premiership.
Swinging that far. Have we seen a side, Dave, swing that far? And I know you're a Blues man yourself, but have we seen this before?
We're going back to like a Sydney. Sydney one year was zipping 5, were they, one year, and won the flag? What were they? I think you're allowed to speak.
No, they were zipping 6 in that case.
And
You're allowed to speak.
He was giving like hands.
Thanks, Dad.
Okay, what was it?
And then the 6th game, they lost against Carlton, and then they won 14 the last 16, I think
what year was that?
It was 2017, I think it was.
So, I mean, but it's hard. It's a hard feat to be able to do. I mean, and at least start of the year, you've got yourself time to work into the season. They didn't have any time left, Carlton, at round 14. They had to get it going, and they have.
It wasn't just how they were losing, though, and it wasn't the margin. It was the game plan wasn't there. You had no idea what you're going to rock up and see. If it seemed as if Charlie Curnow or Harry Mackay didn't kick 10, that they was just bust. And all of a sudden, as you said, it's been incredible. They've managed to turn it around. Bloody good on them.
Let's have a listen to our Macca's I'm Loving It moment. It's how we heard it on Triple M Footy tonight. It was a big win for the Blues, but there was a moment that superseded that.
20 seconds left in this first and I think Mackenzie Arnold, what's happening here? Close Hotels.
France have missed straight off the left post. France have missed. So again, Australia need this one through to the semi-final if they get this next penalty.
She's on the runway here. She starts right, and they're through. Unbelievable scenes. The Matildas have won the penalty shootout in the most dramatic of fashions.
Oh, I love soccer.
It's hard not to get caught up.
That was true.
What about that groan from you? I thought you'd done a hamstring in the back row.
Oh, it was tense. It was a tense first quarter. footy for, well, when we're watching the Matildas. But yeah, well done to them. Big night all round.
I think we can say it now that we ended up with a close game. It was probably just as well that Matildas were on tonight because that first quarter was real whiffy.
I'm now thinking, do you reckon the teams knew, the players knew,
Maybe.
no one was watching them? Because it was a horrible first quarter.
Yeah.
And then from that moment on, once the game was over, the Matildas game, this AFL game out here came to life. And it just got better on each quarter as it went. So well done to the two teams. That was a brilliant showing. That was as tough a game as I think I've seen this year. The physicality, 87 tackles to 88, the contest, the hits. It was a phenomenal effort by both teams. Melbourne a bit stiff in the end, potentially a contentious goal reviews on the line, but that doesn't do their chances any harm, I don't think, Melbourne. They are still absolutely a premiership threat.
Let's talk about that goal review before we go back to the Carlton rooms because that is all that Melbourne fans will be wanting to talk about, I reckon.
Well, I just said to the boys off air, it looked from the angle that it didn't touch the hand. So for the goal umpire to be right there and say he felt it was touched, I would have liked for them to be able to challenge that goal umpire before they say, well, what part of the player did you think it was touched? Because if you've made that call, you've seen something. Rather than just throwing it out there and saying, I think it was touched because the players put their hands up, where did you think it was touched? And if he says, I think it was his hand or it might have been his arm, then I think maybe you can be a bit more specific with the goal review and maybe then you can look at a different decision because just to say, I think it was touched, but we couldn't really see it, but it was probably too difficult to overturn.
It's not quite there yet with the goal review, are we?
Not even close.
Yeah.
Miles away.
It's a flawed system when we're trying to find a little finger, just bend back slightly on a blurred sort of camera angle to make our decisions.
Not to sort of blow it up and be outrageous or anything, but we always say, what if that costs a team a final? That very well could cost a team.
Well, when you think about this weekend and what happened with Jeremy Cameron last night, I mean, these are careers, this is millions of dollars, this is jobs on the line. We talk so much about the importance of it. Can we spend some extra money on getting the technology right? Maybe we can continue to improve.
Let's get down to the Carlton rooms. Robbo is down there with the man who's leading the Coleman medal, Charlie Curnow.
Yeah, Charlie Curnow, 70 goals now, Charlie. But the hardest thing you've got to do now is look after your brother's kids. It's like herding cats, seriously. Unbelievable. A bit of activity going on down here. But, hey, 8 straight, can you believe it?
Oh, it was unreal, yeah. Ed's back, so I can hand the kids back over to Ed. But, no, I mean, it's amazing effort by the boys. You guys are probably going to get sick of hearing about it, but we're going back to contest pressure. There was a lot of heart tonight by the lads. Love the boys playing forward. Weeders was dominant down back. So,
crazy game. We've just had the presentation with the doc with his 150th game for Carlton, but he just said what a crazy game. But it's these ones you got to win, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a massive game. Melbourne have been dominant. They've been so good. I think they're footy leading into this game. So, last year we obviously had a really close game too, and I think we just come in tonight knowing that it was going to be a tough contest. We know they bring a really hard style of football, and we just need to match them in that area. And yeah, a few things probably went our way at the end, and some great efforts by individuals. So it was a good game, far out.
Yeah, congratulations, Charlie. And mate, it was a cracking game. We comment up here, that was like a prelim. Watching that game, you could actually see that being a preliminary final. Where did that rate for you in regards to physicality, and in regards to as many games as you've played of footy? Where would that contest tonight rate in regards to toughness?
Oh, it'd be right up there. I think, we had some games at the back end of the season last year that we thought we put in some great performances. They were really tough contests, and Melbourne. That I'm going to say about that game late last year again. That was a really tough one. Tonight was extremely tough. There's not a whole lot of running, I find. It's a lot of contests, kicks down the line, and you got to be on because your moments come around not so often. And we're lucky a few of the boys. Finished off a few good, nice goals tonight. Matty Owies on the run. I think he was pretty happy with that one.
Was he ever?
I think he spent a bit of time over on the fence, didn't he? No, it was great to see. Jackie Martin, pretty pumped to have Tommy DeConging flying for balls down there. And I think he really found himself in the ruck with Pito there in that last half. So it was great to watch. I mean, I'm very lucky having these players around me.
Charles, congratulations, mate. What was Vossi's message at halftime? We were sitting up here, you were dominating territory, dominating contested footy and dominating the inside 50, but albeit for a 2-point lead at the main break. What was his message? Was he a bit frustrated with you, or was he just saying more of the same?
No, I don't think he was too frustrated. I think there was a few tweaks to our game. We thought we could hit the hot spot, the top of the goal square a bit better at times. We felt like if we could get the ball to the ground for our small forwards, and they could get dangerous, or the big boys could have a good fly and run and jump at it. So I think our first quarter was amazing. We come out real strong. That set the tone for the game, and we knew how good of a side Melbourne were. In that second quarter, they came right back at us. So that just turns the game into an arm wrestle. And
Hey, Charlie, did you notice the roar at quarter time? I mean, I'm not sure too many people watched the first quarter of your game, and to be honest, it was a pretty ordinary first quarter with only the 2 goals kicked. But did you hear the roar of the crowd when the Matildas got up?
Yeah, we sure did. It was an awesome way to experience their game, I guess. There was shouts and cheers all through that quarter, and I was like, no one's doing anything, but it was a cool experience to see the game on before ours, and then I was talking to Maisie, and we were, it was kind of funny because we're versing each other, and then we got the camaraderie of going for the Matildas too. So it was a weird experience.
That matchup, you say, with Stephen May, it looked like you had a real point to prove early on in that. You obviously would have done your homework, but it seemed like you came out with a real strut tonight, wanting to get one up on him.
Yeah, I know. I just know I've got to be on with him. He's physical. He's a big presence. He's got a nice left foot, and you got to be pretty switched on. And as I said, in these games, moments don't come around too often, and you got to be on your feet and on your toes, ready to go. And I was lucky I read a couple early, and it would be nice to have one of those kicks back, but that's all good. We got the win. So.
Yeah, it was a great battle. Hey, he does love a chat, Maisie. How do you go when he chats? And do you like getting in conversation with your opponents, or are you a guy that sort of just tries to keep quiet and go about your business?
I don't know. I'm not too fussed. I'm happy to have a little chat here and there. I think, I do know Steve May off field a little bit, so it's nice to have a bit of a chat, and maybe you could trick him into thinking to go a little bit nicer on you. But you know what he's like. He's not like that at all. So he's he come over the top a few times.
Charlie, well done. It's an incredible ride that you're enjoying right now, and long may it continue all the way through to finals. Congrats.
Yeah, let's go the Baggers.
Yes, Charlie Curnow joining us tonight on Triple M Footy. Let's get to the awards, boys. For Case IH, Leaders in Agricultural Machinery, it's what we do. Who's got the votes?
I'm in charge of the votes tonight. It was a pretty tough night because both sides had a lot of good contributors in a game like that where it was obviously low scoring, but a lot of contest work. So most of the players will be midfielders who find themselves in the votes. One vote to Angus Brayshaw. I thought he was fantastic. 31 disposals. He was brilliant for the D's, intercepting possessions off half-back and setting them up going forward. 2 votes to Paddy Cripps, not only throughout his entire night of the 29 possessions, but in that last quarter especially. The start of that, when they needed a spark, they needed a lift, he was the one that got them going. And 3 votes to George Hewitt, who was just a warhorse, a big brute out there all night. 33 disposals. He had 23 of those contested, 8 clearances, 6 tackles. He was hard and tough, and he was the one that led from the front. Well done to the Blues. 3 to George Hewitt, 2 to Paddy Cripps, 1 to Angus Brayshaw.
For Case IH, the Leaders in Agricultural Machinery, it's what we do tomorrow. Big day. Hawthorn and the Western Bulldogs. That's no easy beat for the Dogs. They need to be switched on.
There'll be a few teams hovering around that the bottom part of the top 8. They're just wanting the Dogs to get beat.
The Saints and the Tigers and Port Adelaide and GWS will finish off round 22. You'll hear it right across the weekend on Triple M Footy and, of course, on the Listener app. Timmy, well done to you.
Thanks, Ev.
Well done to Joey, to Daisy, to Heath, to Mickey Roberts, to our team here at the ground, to Corey, to Kirk, to George, to Leroy back in the studio, and most importantly, to the Triple M family. Thanks for being with us tonight, and don't forget, for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy.
I love soccer.
The Triple M Footy Review for Amy. Submit your fan clanger story to amy.com.au/fansurance and you could win.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
G'day, it's Adam from Inverleigh.
This is Andrew from Hoppers Crossing. G'day, it's Scott from Geelong. I've just won 2 tickets to the Foo Fighters.
See the Foo Fighters in December.
Go Triple M, you rock!
Thanks, Triple M.
The Foo Fighters live Amy Park in December for Triple M.
Free Foo Fighters tickets. Well done, man.
Good on you guys.
Can't complain about that.
And we're not done yet.
It's times like these.
Keep it here for the last tickets in town to the Foo Fighters.
Hey everybody, this is David Eric Grohl.
Melbourne's home of free Foo Fighters tickets.
You happen to be listening to Triple M.
Oh, who's that from? A quick look won't hurt. What time are you picking up, Kate? Oh, damn it.
Saw you on your phone. License, please.
Pick up your phone while you're driving, and it's a $577 fine and 4 demerit points. Distracted drivers can be caught anywhere, anytime. A message from the TAC. Drive safely for everyone.
G'day, Frank here from Midas. Let's get frank about car servicing. Most of the time, what's been done to your car is about as clear as mud flaps. But at Midas, we're different. With our vehicle inspection report, you get transparent pricing and a straight-up rundown of any repairs. Oil's looking low. Easy fix. The tyres just need a little air. Windscreen, nice and clean. Electric windows. Yeah, all good. Last things last. Just got to test the... Thanks, Gavin. Midas, you can rely on us.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery.
Take me now, hot cool man. Take me now, Sexyland.
Sexyland.com.au.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles checked and locked prices guaranteed to save you more than 20% below market prices every day of the year. Here's proof of another range. Revival handmade looking caustic tiles, best market price $49.95. National Tiles checked and locked price $39.95. That's 20% saving. No, not on special. That's 20% saving every day of the year. Only at National Tiles.
One of the world's biggest shows, Billions, returns for an epic final season only on Stan.
This is what you've been waiting for.
Axe is back.
Sounds to be a billionaire these days. Let's get to it.
And he saved his biggest play for one last showdown.
This is it. You can't escape your enemies.
It's all been leading up to this as the stakes grow from Wall Street to the world.
We're going to tell you what we're going to do, and then we're going to do it.
The final season of Billions, now streaming only on Stan.
The Lowdown. Around town.
The National 4x4 Outdoor Show is your one-stop shop for everything off-road, camping, caravanning and outdoor adventure. August 18 to 20 at the Melbourne Showgrounds. Visit 4x4show.com.au.
The Lowdown.
Don't wait for the weekend. Make tonight a not-so-casual weeknight at Crown. There's no better place for a midweek catch-up or knock-off drinks. Crown practices the responsible service of alcohol. Drink responsibly.
The Lowdown. Around town.
You get the good times with the Marty Sheargold Show for breakfast.
We won the dog raffles in the raffle.
What happened to Raffles?
We were living in Darwin and Raffles didn't make it through Tracy.
Why didn't you shove Raffles up your jumper and take him with you?
I didn't know where that was heading. I thought I was going to have to smuggle Raffles out of Darwin. Nothing in my bum, sir.
And Rock's greatest hits all weekend. Melbourne's 105.1 Triple M.